extra attacker out as Dej jumps on the ice. Radojevic. They'll switch up spots. Bobuchet waiting, shooting, and that time, Hrabal able to see it, he'll squeeze.
Right off the face-off, Slovakia gets sent, but Dvorsky, more importantly, he gets that stick ready, finds his spot on the ice, and he buries it.
Not done yet. So the net is empty. Or is Leniak? Well, they got 6 skaters out, so he's got to stay on the bench, and he will. Six on 4. Extra attacker out, net empty. The 2 as Dvorsky lines up. Hradec is the top face-off guy in the tournament coming in. Hradec at 74%. No one's won more than him in the tournament. He's got another one. But Sturback, good hustle. Able to keep it in. And then they got to reload at center ice as the captain is back, Dalibor Dvorsky.
That was a great read by Jakub Fibiger, because as they tried to punch it back down to Dvorsky, he was right over there and shut it down to get the puck down the ice.
Dvorsky on the puck. Pekarczyk. Near circle. Pekarczyk assessing his options. He'll hand it off. Kuchenberg. Back up, Sturback. Sturback, wrist shot, and it was blocked. I don't know if Hrabal saw it, but he stopped it. Dej. Yeshko. Pekarczyk. Pekarczyk. Near wall. Takes a look, hands it off. Kuchenberg, quick shot, and that right pad out. Empty net. And down the ice, remember, it's PK, so they can take a shot at an empty net. Sturback has the puck. 2 minutes left. Power play time. 3:10 to go in the game. And Slovakia inch a little bit closer. Yeshko takes a look. He'll drop it back. Cesar curls around in center. Good job by Stancho as he forced him back. Cesar from his own zone. Will be the left side. Chromiak delivers. Passing right in front. And Wojtek was cutting to the net. Couldn't get a stick on it in time. Battle continues in the corner. Precious seconds ticking down. 2:40 to go in the game. And finally, it's squirted out. Bobuchet drops it back. Krlovic. Bobuchet. Bobuchet goes up high with it. Robolik. Robolik still with it, waiting, shoots in front. It's tipped and just wide. Great tip by Senzo, but he missed the mark. Czechia trying to clear, they can. His shot, couldn't get it out. Bobuchet up top, bottling puck, big shot block, but he recovers. Bobuchet hands it off again. Wojtek for Bobuchet. We're down low, pass in front. It's loose. Hrabal lost it as he follow up, shouting at it. Still no whistle. The puck was loose. It wasn't covered as Adam Senzo was in the mix trying to poke it in. And they hang on and hold the puck as Hrabal under siege here. Late stages, 1:55 to go.
Calm in the eye of the storm. This is Michael Hrabal. Takes this one off the mask. Love up in there. Real good alert play with a poke check. Just coming in and making sure that the puck gets swept back to the corner. He turns it over and what a great look to watch the goaltender's movements, trying to find the puck and all the action in and around the net. Everybody trying to find the puck.
Timeout Slovakia.
A necessary timeout. They have to get their top players rested. Dvorsky, Pekarczyk, Jenchko, Bobazal. They just have to give them the rest to give them a chance to try to get a third goal here and make it really interesting.
If you're just joining us, Miroslav Shatan took a hit from behind. Wojtek Cihas got 5 in a game. Dvorsky, the captain, got 1 on the power play, so Slovakia within 2. Minute 55 to go. Alan Leniak pulled again. 6 on 4, and another critical face-off. Another win for Rapids. It goes into the corner. Slovakia will possess the puck. Played up top. Sturback. Dvorsky. Donovan Dvorsky, wrist shot. Blocked and chipped down the ice. That'll kill off some more time. Minute 40 to go and 25 seconds left of power play time. Maxime Sturback. Donovan Dvorsky up the left wing. He tried to chip it along the wall. Bobbyship and the battle there as well, near point. And a great job as Raditz having a nice game, winning face-offs. Good defensive play. He'll chip that down the ice. Pakarchik into the offensive zone again. Pakarchik, though, can't hold it in. It's down the ice. 4 shots with a man advantage. And now it's a 6 on 5. Net still empty, so the power play time over. Final minute, TD Place in an entertaining last 6 minutes of this hockey game. Liegeberg jams it up high into the corner. 50 seconds remaining. Pakarchik in the corner. Dvorsky's right in front, but the puck is pinned. Shala watching Dvorsky in that slot area as that battle continues in the corner. Dench, little bump. And finally, Halinka frees it. He'll flip to space. Empty net available, but Sturback got back and he'll put that down the ice. That might be icing, and it is. So icing, Leniak's going to have to come back in with 27.7 to go.
Well, Maxim Sturback's played a lot of minutes to date in this tournament, and certainly a lot of minutes in this game in the third period. And that's just tremendous hustle to try to make sure that Czechia doesn't get a crack at the open net.
Sturback 9 points, Michigan State and NCAA this year. Big minutes there, big minutes here. Time winding down for Slovakia. They're running out of time. 20 seconds left, down by 2. Dvorsky, the chip high down the ice. Dvorak's back. 10 seconds left. Dvorak couldn't clear. Give it away. Pakarchik cutting in. Waiting, shooting, missed the mark. Leniak went halfway. Pakarchik centering feed, and time winds down. It was a good battle. They fought as hard as they could, but Czechia and that man, Michael Hrabal, get the job done. Undefeated, Craig. It sets up a big match. New Year's Eve, Sweden, Czechia for top spot in our group.
Yeah, the class of the group is Czechia and Sweden, and now they get to fight it out on the ice on New Year's Eve for first spot in this group.
Yeah, the beer is pretty good there. 4-2, Czechia beats Slovakia. Edward Shala got the 3-1 goal, and then he got the goal number 4 for Czechia as Czechia wins by 2.
The 2025 IIHF World Junior Championship from Ottawa, Ontario is proudly presented by TELUS, now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. By Esso, from the Esso Medals program to representing Team Canada. Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons Flatbread Pizza. Order on the Tim's app today.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Cheers, hockey fans! Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for Canada against Germany, the World Junior Hockey Championships. In my opinion, one of the best hockey tournaments ever. Right up there. I like it better than the Olympics, personally, especially now. Thank you for being here, Canada, with a must-win game tonight. We got to get it done after that shock loss to Latvia. But hey, throw it out. Let's go. We're on the ice tonight. Thank you for being here. Let's cheer on Canada loud. And please hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more Canada fans here in the chat having a good time. We'll see you back in there. Go, Canada, go.
Today at hims.com.
Dermis and Daniel Hinek are the linesmen. 19-year-old Nico Pertuk starts in goal for Germany, allowed 10 goals on 56 shots against the United States, but actually had the better save percentage than Trey Augustine, the American goaltender in that game. And Carter George coming off a 31-save shutout against the Finns, and Canada's opener is back in the Canadian goal. Toby Abstrider, he's in his 6th year with the head coach of the German national junior team. They finished 9th last year, narrowly avoided relegation, had to beat Norway in overtime to avoid being bumped down. And Dave Cameron behind the bench, the head coach of the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario Hockey League, 14 years as an OHL head coach, also the former head coach of the Ottawa Senators. And so Canada trying to bounce back, and guys, Germany trying to stay in contention.
Already. Good. Germany first, okay? Germany, Canada.
And that's Franz that took a stick near the head there on that face-off, and we are underway. Seidel works in, sends it down towards the Canadian goal on a German offside.
And when you're dealing with young players, you have to remember what the wins and losses will feel like. You love to see this from Canada's bench. So everyone up, banging the boards, energy, emotion, support for each other.
And you can feel more emotion in the building as well.
It's been well attended every game, but you're right. This feels juicier, percolating with energy, ready to support Canada.
A wild earlier game, the United States and Finland. Finns won in overtime against the U.S. Ruckdahl and Gauthier going at it here. Germany, interestingly enough, was down 2-1 to the U.S. in their opener in the second period, went on the power play. They were down in their second game against the Finns by a score of 2-1 in the third and on the power play. Long shooting by Panoha. And Carter George plays that back around. Bumped up by Andrew Gibson. A race for it now. In comes Luchenko racing in. That's crunched into the end boards by Carlos Handel. Move back the other way. Simon Seidel. A centering pass bumped away from Julius Sump. And Sump, one of the top players for the Germans, plays for Moncton in the Quebec League. Now loose in the corner. Andrew Gibson picks it up and finds Matthew Cataford of the Halifax Mooseheads. Lays it back down to the German zone. Germany plays tomorrow afternoon against Latvia. If the Germans lose tonight, that game will decide likely who goes down to the relegation side. So a tough turnaround for the Germans. Now a lead pass to Ritchie. Gal Ritchie walks in and shoots just missed wide. And Dickinson can't quite hold it. Sam Dixon of the London Knights with Matthew Schaefer will get elevated time at even strength and on the power play. As that goes over Dickinson's head and out of play.
Canada on their toes to start the game. Part of that, the easiest way. Make a hit, take it. This is the face-off drop. Gauthier, Ballin, Ruckdahl, Luchenko take it, hit it again, the forecheck. This is one way to get into the game, have the forward finishing hits. And you like this from Sam Dickinson. Morser, step up, tight gap, counterattack. And Cal Ritchie wisely likes to shoot. Find a way to hit the net or hit the back of it.
Braden Yager, the Canadian captain, steps in for the face-off. Wins the draw back. Tanner Howe plays it back, and now Howe back out of the corner. Howe spun around, lost the puck to Szymanski. And Noah Szymanski slides out ahead. Chip back down in the Canadian zone as Caden Price goes back. And then Price lifts that ahead. Batted out by Bradley Nadeau. Nadeau out there along with Yager and Howe, the forward line for Canada. So a number of new combinations for the Canadians. Nihus goes off a skate, bouncing at the Canadian line. Szymanski plays that back for Norman Panoha, the only drafted player on the German roster, a 7th-round pick by Buffalo in 2023. Plays for Green Bay in the United States Hockey League. Played last year for Chicoutimi in the Quebec League. Handel fires it back down in the Canadian zone, and George out to play it, which he loves to do. We got our first look at Sawyer Minio on the Canadian defense, the Kamloops native. Now pass intercepted by Catton. Feeds it back in front. McKenna goes between the legs. Rebound loose in front, put high by Pinelli. What a play by McKenna. Oh. That might have been one of the greatest goals we'd ever see at the World Junior Championship.
He's not lacking confidence.
Molendyk steps up. And Timo Ruckdahl feeds that down. And here's Gibson. Andrew Gibson takes a hard bump, plays it around. Ruckdash knocks that down. Picked up by McKenna. That pass goes off the skate. Played back to center ice. A race for it now. In comes Seidel. German top line is back on the ice as Sunk goes after it. Sunk trying to center it. Now loose in the corner. Picked up by Molendyk. Good pass for Catton. Up ahead for McKenna. He lost the puck. Ruckdash, a quick shot. And George makes the save.
So you see the brilliance of McKenna and then also some of the concerns. Here's the turnover. As Catton puts it to McKenna, he decides to go through his legs in tight. Would have been something. And
he got a lot on it.
He did. He got it up. Now that move usually works well when you're going laterally and sell something else. I don't know if he sold another option before going through his legs. And a bit of a careless turnover in his own end as well, though. He managed the puck at the dangerous spots.
Oliver Bonk lifts that to center ice. Knocked down by Luchenko moving in. Jet Luchenko. Drops that back. The pass was intercepted by Schwartz and chipped back out. And Bonk goes back across to Luchenko. So Bonk and Dickinson out there together, the London Knights teammates. In comes Cataford. Back for Bonk with a shot that goes through the crease. Luchenko plays it back in the corner. Ethan Gauthier swings that back to Dickinson. Cross he goes to Bonk. Winds and shoots. That deflects wide. Dickinson steps up. Lewandowski got the puck away from Dickinson. In comes David Lewandowski. Centers it for Schwartz. Can't get a shot away. And Luchenko gathers up the loose puck. It's picked off in front. Szymanski with it. Szymanski throws it on goal. Stopped by George. Back at the point. Panoha feeds it back across the handle with a shot that goes wide. Panoha knocks it back ahead. Lewandowski picks it up. Feeds it across to Handel moving in. Handel gets around Gauthier. Loose puck in front. Szymanski turned away as George is down. But a good chance there for the Germans as Gauthier lifts it back out. Schaefer backhands it back in. Skips wide of the Canadian goal. Bonk exhausted back to pick it up. Plays the puck back around to Bo Akey. That pass intercepted by Brandel. Schaefer gets bumped by Akey. And Baudouin back with it. Baudouin, rink wide pass for Cowan. Easton Cowan threads it ahead for Ritchie. Moving in. Ritchie rolls that towards the goal. And Pertuk pounces on that.
Ritchie's been involved. Easton Cowan's been in a lot of little skirmishes like this throughout the tournament.
He tends to linger near the opposition goaltender at times.
Not afraid for the extra push or shove. Part of what gets him into the game is getting under the skin of the opposition. And close calls at both ends, but this one, Handel drives wide. The first one goes off the defender, and then the rebound hits Handel. I think it goes in if it doesn't hit in the back. Kind of swiped out George. Now there would have been a challenge and everything else, but Bonk goes down, and Szymanski's got to shoot this in the net, and it hits Handel in the elbow. Whew. As a very close call for Canada.
Guys!
And their motion's good. Physicality is good.
Guys!
Penalties have been a problem for Canada. You have to be mindful of it.
Short-handed 12 times so far in the tournament, 5 more than any other team through 2 games. Paul Meyer reaching for that. It's poked back in by Baudouin. Now knocked down by Molendyk. Oh, a great pivot there by Tanner Molendyk. Throws it back in the corner for Ritchie. Cal Ritchie gets crunched in behind the goal, but stays on it. Wins that battle for the puck. Feeds it back to Baudouin for Akey. Bo Akey winds in, drops it off for Molendyk. Tanner Molendyk in, shoots and dribbles off his stick. Poke back to Akey. He's got time. He pivots around on Sauger. Lays it down to Baudouin. Oh, Baudouin to Ritchie. Lots of traffic in front. Cowan was knocked down. The centering pass is taken away by Sauger. And Clemens Sauger brings it back out for Germany. Lobs that down on George. Back around for Akey. Who finds Molendyk, but Molendyk lost the puck. To Sunk. Brought back by Nadeau. In comes Nadeau with a step now. Waiting for teammates to arrive. Nadeau falls. And out comes Rio Kaiser in the German lineup after missing the first 2 games for them. 25-man rosters in this tournament. 22 skaters, 3 goaltenders. That lead pass for Nadeau. He gets there in time to negate the icing. Now a centering pass, quick chance for Yager, turned away. Back is Howe with it. Howe across to Nadeau. Brad Nadeau drops it down to Yager. Braden Yager, the Canadian captain, pivots back. That shot by Price goes wide. Handel back with it. Handel, one of 4 draft-eligible German players in their lineup. They've got 12 guys young enough to return. In comes Price. Caden Price with it. Feeds it back in front for Yager. Couldn't handle that pass. Seidel plays it back out. Here's Ruckdaschel with it. Timo Ruckdaschel bearing in on Bonk. A shot that goes off Bonk's stick. Up and out of play. No score here in the opening period. Day 4 of the 2025 World Junior Hockey Championship.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Download the app now and track every detail of the World Junior Championships.
Join millions worldwide on hockey's #1 destination. Follow any league, team, or talent. Track all trades and compare the players shaping the game. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat.
Hey you! Yeah, you, the hockey fan that's hanging out with us for Canada and Germany tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. It is always so hard to find these games. It's been years I've been searching for the World Junior Hockey Championships, and this year I was able to find the stream. So here we are live on TSI. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. If you're new here, please take a minute, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto sports event, as well as the Buffalo Bills, college football playoffs, and a lot of other awesome sports action. Thank you for finding our awesome community. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Canada. We got to beat Germany tonight.
One in this game.
Leads OHL defenseman with 9 power play goals. In comes Captain. Berkeley Captain for Bonk. Oliver Bonk streaks in. Plays it off the back of the goal. Now stepping up is McKenna. Gavin McKenna knocks that back down. And Troutman, the German captain, plays it back across for Hensa. Lead pass to Schwartz, moving in, kicks that ahead. And finds Lenny Boos with it. Back at the point, Boos feeds that back. Troutman plays it back in. And behind the goal, picked up by Dickinson. For Pinelli. Luca Pinelli, the Ottawa 67s, finds Catton. Rolling puck as Canada's changing. Catton buys some time. Feeds it to an open spot, and Gibson skates right into it. Gibson sends it back in front. Pinelli just missed. And Boos back with it. Lenny Boos plays that to center ice. And brought back in by Catton. Catton holds off the German defenseman Hensa. McKenna throws it off the side of the goal, and Hensa back with it. And now backhanded out by Troutman. Gibson goes back, and that's an icing call against Germany.
Good opportunity in front on a line change. As he plays made to Cat, he buys some time. 2 defensemen go off, so when you're making a change, you're going to jump on the ice, and here comes Andrew Gibson, fresh off the bench, drives it, draws an extra guy. Pinelli wide alone in front. This is what happens with Germany, though. You can catch them while switching if it not for the active stick of Pertup. That's in the back of the net. The goaltender is generally responsible for any passes that go through the crease. And Pertup cleans it up, knocks it away.
Luchenko wins that face-off. Back Minio across to Price. Banks it down. And here's Carson Rakoff making his tournament debut after being a healthy scratch in the first 2 games. 72 goals in his last 87 junior games. Price with it. Banks it back around for Minio. Vancouver Canucks 3rd-round pick plays for Seattle in the Western League. Minio steps out. That pass snapped by Luchenko for Gauthier, poked away by Meyer. Here's Gauthier on the other side with it now. Ethan Gauthier winds in, knocked off his stick, and Poole has it back for Germany. Up ahead for Linus Brandl. Now chipped up by Gauthier. Price. Lead pass to Rakoff, who plays it in. Ritchie trying to work that free. Knocked down by Brandl, and it's center ice. Gibson had that pass picked off by Brandl. Molendyk up ahead for Baudouin, who chips it in as Cowan jumps on and quickly joins the forecheck. Ritchie Battles for it. Cal Ritchie picks that free. Ritchie drops it down to Cowan. Easton Cowan pivots back. Cowan has a look. Lots of traffic. Walks it and shoots. He doesn't let wide. Now Gibson steps up and skates right through Brandel. Moved back around by Sauger. Held to the line by Cowan. Cowan taken down by Munzenberger. Penalty heading to Germany.
That's good by Cowan. Moving his feet off the wall. Taking advantage of maybe some tired defenders and drawing a penalty. That's how you get off the wall. That's how you get into the middle of the ice. He did it a couple times on that shift. The first time.
Team Germany number 19, 2 minutes.
Takes a little pick here. And check out this shot. Goaltender jumping, guessing the wrong way. He hits the net. It's in the back of the net. And that's more engagement. Easton Cowan, he's demanding more from himself, and he delivered.
Now we'll get a look at this new look Canadian power play, which has 3 London Knights on it. Dickinson on the point. Bonk connected the bumper spot. Cowan there as well. London number 2 in the OHL in power play percentage. The only team better, Dave Cameron's Ottawa 67.
They call you bumper bonk. You probably should be playing in the bumper position.
Dickinson, 9 of his 15 goals this year on the power play for London.
All the talk about getting shots to the net, look for Dickinson to shoot whenever he can.
Ritchie wins the face-off, back to Catton for Dickinson. Across to Cowan. Cowan in, shoots, and Pertu got a piece of that. Meyer trying to clear it out. Knocked down by Dickinson. Kept alive by Cowan. Cowan winds back in. Easton Cowan feeds that back down to Catton. Berkeley Catton winds through for Cowan. Drops it back for back shot, scored! From the bumper to the back of the net. And Canada's got a 1-0 lead in the power play goal.
Bumper bump. Finally back home in the middle. That's a great smile. Good keep here by Sam Dickinson. Now, does he touch this with his skate to make it not a glove pass to Cowan, who then rotates it? Catton goes around back to Cowan and bumper bump, finding that soft spot like a good bumper would. Pivoting, looking for angles, getting the stick ready, and making sure to elevate just a little bit, post and in, to open the scoring on a power play goal. So much talk about the power play and the 3 London Knights.
Yep.
There they are together, like they've done so many times. Open the scoring for Canada.
Chris Lasry, the coach of Saginaw on the OHL, runs the power play. You saw a big smile from him on the bench. Now it's dropped back to Price. Caden Price walks right in. Price throws it back in front. That goes off the skate of Yager and wide. Stepping up is Nadeau. And at the line, Price pokes that ahead. Yager takes a whack at that. And back down to the German zone as Handel goes back. Around to Panoha. Through the middle of the ice, Lewandowski, poke check there by Price. Nadeau comes in. And Minio plays out ahead, a race for it now as Nadeau moves in on Panoha. Panoha knocked down there by Pinelli. And Molendyk gathers it back up. Fires that back down to the German zone as Handel is back to pick it up. Being shadowed there by McKenna. And Pinelli finds Panoha, lead pass for Schaefer. In comes Schaefer. A watch there by Gibson. And Andrew Gibson plays it around for Pinelli. Great chip there for McKenna. He breaks it out. Gavin McKenna winds right in. 1-on-3. McKenna maintains possession of the puck. Nehus has it picked up by Cat. Feeds it back to Gibson. In comes Gibson, a shot that goes wide up the other side for Molendyk. Molendyk punched in the corner by Maull. And Pinelli trying to work that free. Now Nehus brings it out for Germany. And McKenna got a stick on that as it shipped back down to the Canadian zone. They'll call that icing against the Germans.
Oliver Bonk and the power play guys, such a focus. But you're watching Bonk and Catton and Cowan work a little 3-man game, trying to free up a stick. Now there's nobody in front. They got to make a good shot. Bonk able to wheel and get to the far side, even though it's on the back heel. Well, he drops to a knee. And what a Great start for him. And the relief of all the power play unit guys. They get one early.
Bonk has 2 power play goals for London this year. And Cowan launched himself into Rio Kaiser. Mao with it. Plays it back down to the Canadian zone. And here's Akey back to pick it up. Dickinson. Lead pass for Ritchie moving in. Cal Ritchie tried to one-hand that for Cowan. Cowan behind the goal. Got straightened up there by Marco Munzenberger. Baudouin plays it back. Akey a long shot. And Pertuk able to make the save. Well, for a kid who grew up in the shadow of this building, Ottawa native Oliver Bonk has Canada's first goal to the delight of another well-known man in Ottawa, his dad, Radek.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Download the app now and track every detail of the World Junior Championships.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Join players, scouts, and coaches on hockey's largest platform, where players showcase their game and recruiters uncover new talents. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
Nobody covers the game like us. This is NHL Network.
The greatest loss against Latvia was not the 2 points by not winning. It was Matthew Schaefer crashing into the net, suffering an injury that's going to knock him out of the tournament and out of action for a couple of months. But before he returns to get treatment and start getting better, it is great for his teammates to see him on the left there, arm in a sling obviously, but still here with the guys and offering a bit of motivation.
I wonder if he and Porter Martone are texting each other.
Kids, what they do. But I love that he's here. I mean, he can't be feeling very good. He's got to be in some pain. And
Cataford wins that faceoff back to Raycomp, but couldn't get a shot away. Now Gibson back across to Molendyk, the 2 Nashville prospects. Molendyk drafted by the Predators, and Gibson acquired in a trade with Detroit. Raycomp plays it back around. Here's Brandl.
Nice stick.
And looking back is Rio Kaiser, and Cataford is checking for damage. And Canada getting another power play as 18-year-old Rio Kaiser goes off.
It's a tough game to step in if you're Kaiser.
Team Germany, player number 18, minor penalty for high sticking.
Hasn't played in a game yet, jumps in here and tapped in quick. Just a little rake, but little rakes don't feel very good either. Cataford goes down. And
here they come again.
Yeah. Same group. Why not first 5?
And Catton for the face-off. Ritchie and Bonk up. Cowan back. Dickinson to Cowan. Dickinson feeds it back across. Ritchie a shot that was blocked by Panoha. Dickinson back for Ritchie again. Dickinson tees it up and shoots off the outside of the post.
Heavy.
Cowan feeds it down to Catton. Cowan back for Dickinson. For Cowan. Winds back in. Cowan looks back across. Dickinson elects not to shoot. Down he goes to Catton. For Dickinson. To Cowan. Cowan in, fires, that hit a leg in front. Here's Ritchie back with it. To Dickinson. Now Dickinson feeds it back across for Ritchie. Ritchie walks in, shoots. That's blocked again by Panoha. Back is Dickinson with it. Cross he goes to Cowan. Easton Cowan back for Dickinson. Dickinson to Cowan, one-time shot, and Pertuk makes the stop.
Well, they wanted a shooting mentality for the first group. They certainly have found that. The top umbrella going back and forth, and Sam Dickinson, you heard about how hard a shot is. Look at it. That is a monstrous one-timer. Pertuk not really that close to it, and eventually, after Richie threw a couple at net, Cowan as well, and he can soften up the defense with some point shots, and then eventually stuff down in the net will open up.
So Jagger out for the face-off. He's got McKenna, Nadeau, and Rakoff the forwards. Picked up by Jagger. Back he goes to Molendyk. Across to Rakoff. To Molendyk. McKenna sets it up. Looks back to Jagger at the line. A race for it. McKenna couldn't hold it. Has to go back to center ice. 40 seconds to go in the power play. McKenna shovels it across. Nadeau. Great pass for Jagger. Walks it in. Shoots. Deflected puck. Perchuk makes the save and hangs on.
Well, there's no doubt both groups looking to put pucks to the net. Last chance, pretty far out to take a shot, but everyone being mindful of the focus to simplify and shoot. I don't love this shot if I'm a power play guy from Jagger, even though it was blocked, because no one's really around the front of the net to bother Perchuk.
Canada had 121 shot attempts against Latvia in that game. As Rakoff steps up. Played back by Nadeau for Molendyk to McKenna. McKenna works it and shoots, just missed short side. Rakoff holds the line. Looks back down to Jagger. And at the line, it's held by Molendyk. Tanner Molendyk. Final seconds of the power play, feeds it down to Rakoff. Back in front, bounces across to McKenna. Back he goes to Molendyk. To McKenna. With time winding down, finds Molendyk back to McKenna. One-time shot, that's wide. And the puck dies in the corner. Nadeau. Back to Rakoff. 2 shots on the power play. McKenna feeds it back across. It's knocked down by Nadeau. Tired German penalty killers on the ice now. Nadeau try to shovel that back across, and Munzenberger out of the penalty box got a stick on that as Molendyk trails back. Pick up now by Gibson. Andrew Gibson from LaSalle, Ontario, falls. Kicked ahead by Lewandowski. Just missed there by Gauthier, and the play scrambled at the Canadian line. It's called offside. 1-0 Canada leads at the 2025 World Junior Hockey Championship in Ottawa.
The Pepsi Zero Sugar NHL Goalie Challenge is free and easy to play. Every week, pick 3 teams and earn points based on their goalie performances. Play now at NHL.com/Pepsi Goalie Challenge for a chance to score a grand prize trip to a 2025 Stanley Cup Final game.
USA Hockey is teaching more than just a game. We're teaching kids about
teamwork, confidence, fitness, fun.
Because every kid deserves a chance to play, love, and excel. Visit USAHockey.com to learn more about the great youth hockey opportunities available for your child. Because dreaming big is one thing, getting the right start is everything.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Don't miss out. Scan the QR code on screen for 35% off Crave monthly plans for 4 months and start streaming HBO series you won't find anywhere else, plus the biggest blockbusters. Crave, endlessly entertaining. We have had an entertaining World Junior Championship so far. How about today? Finns beat the U.S. in overtime. On the other side, Swedes beat the Swiss 7-5. They're up 6-1 in that game.
Why we love junior hockey. More mistakes, more chances, more greatness.
And wild swings of emotion. Luchenko pokes it down, feeds that back at the point for Minio, and it poked away by Lewandowski. But the emergency swing knocked it ahead to Luchenko. Now a centering pass for Cataford. He's tied up there by Schwartz. Tobias Schwartz plays it back out. A dozen of these German players have played games in their top league, the DEL, this year. Only 5 have points. They play limited minutes as that's sent wide of the goal. Bounces back to Bonk. Bonk shoots. That's gloved by Perchuk. So the Germans have a rule that each DEL team has to have 3 players in the lineup under the age of 23. It doesn't say they have to play. And so part of the problem is with 20 skaters dressed under the IHF rulebook, they languish on the bench.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers, you say, well, they played 14 games, they have 1 assist, not very good. But then when they go back to the under-20 league, they pile up the points.
Right.
And that's where the conversation, where are they best served to play?
Some for the face-off against Jagger. Scramble draw. Jagger pokes that back to Bach. For Nadeau. That's poked up by Ruckdaschel. Germany relegated the under-18s 2 years ago, won promotion at the Division 1A under-18 tournament last spring. And a good chunk of that team is here. They have 9 players from that team. And now a German player lost his helmet sideways, got to leave the ice. As Bach pokes at it, in comes Ruckdaschel with a chin, shoots, and George got a piece of that. Ruckdaschel's been one of Germany's most dangerous players for the first 3 games.
There's 3 guys on Germany you got to watch for: Lewandowski, Sump, and Ruckdaschel.
And now a penalty coming to Canada with 3:30 to go. In the opening period, there was a collision in front of the Canadian bench. They're going to go a kneeing penalty. And it's going to be Dickinson who goes off. And the officials are conferring here.
Kneeing can mean different degrees of a knee. And Ruckdaschel looks like he's okay after crashing heavily into the board.
They're going to review this.
Play is under review for major penalty.
Oh my. So Sam Dickinson, what am I even here for? Watch the top of your screen. 3 turns and pivots and skates. That's not a kneeing penalty. They ran into each other. He doesn't even know he's there. He's pivoting. He's crossing over. And I understand it's Sump goes for a spin. I mean, at the most, you could give this as a 2. This is incidental contact. They ran into each other, neither one knowing the other was there. Could be a significant moment in this game, though.
What am I getting called for, he asks. So the referees, Mads Fransen of Denmark, Jan Rybak of Czechia, are reviewing this. They're both experienced top-level officials. Again, this tournament is being used as an evaluation platform. This and the Men's World Championship for the Milan Olympics in 2026.
So the crowd reacting to the penalty that was on the screen. And it's a nice tight ISO of it.
That's a collision. That's not.
It's completely incidental. Now, you can trip people accidentally. So, you know, I can handle a trip. But, I mean, that can't be anything more than a 2. Not to mention some smack Bonk in the head, or Jagger in the head with a stick as he fell. Which is, again, your responsibility. Even though it's a penalty, we know who he's cheering for.
Dickens' dad not pleased with that call. All right, so
when you think about it, Canada's got their 7 defensemen. Sorry, Minio's playing for the first time. Dickinson's the guy who's been elevated. Like, you do not want this to turn into a 5. It's so unintentional. I don't know how they could call it anything more than a 2.
All right. Here comes the call from Jan Rybak.
Team Canada, player number 3, minor penalty for interference.
So they changed the call from kneeing to interference.
I disagree, but I said that at least makes some sense. You can bump into people accidentally and still be interference. Dave Cameron protesting pretty loudly. Disagrees. Okay, so penalties have been a problem.
Yeah.
Power play goals against at the wrong time have been a problem.
And Latvia had 2, both equalized the game. Germany 1 for 7 on the power play. Julius Sump has their power play goal. Panoha back for Handel. They watch there by Gauthier. Handel winds back in and shoots. That goes wide off the back of the goal. Gibson backhands it ahead. Luchenko. Great chip there for Gauthier. And Gauthier skates it back out. There's Panoha. Leaves it back for Handel. Handel, one of the 10 members of that under-18 German team. Molendyk swings back. Being watched there by Lewandowski. Still loose behind the goal. Rookdashel crisscrossing. Lewandowski trying to pull it free. Now Rookdashel leaves it there for Lewandowski. Panoha banks that back to Handel. Carlos Handel, the Halifax Mooseheads. For Panoha. Banks it back to Handel. Back for Panoha. Walks it and shoots, and that's knocked away by George. Back at the point is Handel. Feeds it across for Panoha with a shot. George kicks it up. Lewandowski with a chance, and George came across to make the stop. Back in the corner, Lewandowski. Feeds it down to Rookdashel. And there's Handel with a shot, and George got a piece of that. Panoha back with it. 35 seconds to go in the German power play. Panoha. Back for Handel. He bobbled it for a moment. Howe couldn't knock it out. Panoha feeds back across for Handel. Crisscrossing there with Boos. A whack there from Jagger. Chance in front of Lewandowski, and he's stopped point blank by George.
Chances galore for Germany as Canada can't get the clears when they get their hands on the puck, allowing Germany extra touches, more time, and forcing George into some pretty good saves. Not great rebound control, but he tracks it well to get across, and he's there in plenty of time to steer aside Lewandowski's rebound attempt. When you have the puck on your stick, you have to be so sure. Molendyk, he's trying to handle it. He handles it right to Lewandowski. That's a dangerous shot there.
Lewandowski plays for Saskatoon in the Western League.
One of the best German players for sure.
Cataford for the face-off against Sumpf. And Cataford wins it back, racing toward his box, but knocked back for Nadeau. Now a pad for Cataford. Out comes Peartube. That bouncing by the side of the Cataford kicks it right to the crease. What a chance that was for Cataford, short-handed. 3 shots for the Germans on the power play. Dickinson steps back on. Sumpf dropped it back to Seidel, and Dickinson picks it off. Lifts it back down to the German zone. Seidel back with it for Sumpf. Long lead pass to Poole. That's gloved by George, and he'll squeeze that.
What a crazy sequence for Cataford on the penalty kill. As Peartube comes out and plays it, knocks it into the roof. Cataford's trying to kick it to his stick. He almost backheels it into the net. You know what? He could have touched that in the net, actually. Watch his stick go over top of it.
Oh, just missed.
He just had to get on the right side of the puck to touch it in.
Face off. Won by Captain. Here's Pinelli with it. Luca Pinelli snaps that pass to center ice, picked up by Hensa. But McKenna got a stick on that. Final minute now. Poole back with it. Elias Poole. Is it back around for Brandel? That shot by Hensa got through, but George makes the stop, and there's no rebound. Some pushing and shoving, breaking out to the side of the goal. Germany last year beat Finland in the preliminary round. First time they'd ever beaten the Finns in the tournament. Didn't matter. They lost to Latvia in their final game of the opening round. That bumped them down the relegation side. They played Norway, needed overtime to beat the Norwegians to stay in the top division for the 6th straight year.
Latvia could face the same challenge tomorrow.
Right.
If they beat Canada the first time ever, but if they don't beat Germany tomorrow, they likely go to the relegation game.
Jagger wins that face-off back to Bach, who lifts it out. Meyer goes back, being shadowed there by Nadeau. Rookdashel feeds it ahead, knocked down by Dickinson, but the play was offside at the Canadian line.
There's Julius Sumpf, who is one of the faster players we have seen in this tournament. And I think they're going to pick up a late hook on Rookdashel.
Yeah.
Team Germany, player number 10, minor penalty for roughing.
Roughing. And this is the little pushing and shoving stuff you got to be mindful of, because you don't want to do what Rookdashel just did. Pick up a nothing roughing penalty.
So after the offside is called,
little couple shoves. It's not going to bother Howe. Again, I probably would let it go, but you can't.
So Canada back to the power play late in the period. Ritchie on it. Cal Ritchie winds that back to Dickinson, across to Cowan. Easton Cowan drops it back to Catton. Berkeley Catton's pass across. Bounced away from Ritchie. Nihus. A penalty coming again to Germany. Hang on.
A slash coming to Ritchie in the corner as Nihus is showing that his fingers hurt. A bonk.
Team Canada, player number 5, minor penalty for slashing.
So the standard has sort of been established in this game, and it's a tight one. So he's trying to intercept the... That's a slash. Slash into the hands, that's a slash. Can't do it. You got to hit the stick, not the hands.
Yeah, delayed call because Cowan had the puck for a while until they called it, but now it's 4-on-4. 16.9 to go. Shots are 10-8 Canada, a 1-0 lead.
Team Canada sends Canada number 5.
Poked ahead for Gauthier, couldn't quite get to it. Seidel lost the puck to Gibson. Gibson sandwiched behind the goal, plays it back around for Molendijk. Time winding down the period. Luchenko winds in for Gauthier. And time expires. Gauthier gets his stick up on handle at the horn as Canada will go to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead. The goal by Oliver Bonk, his first of this World Junior Championship. Coming up, our first intermission.
Goalie Challenge is free and easy to play. Every week, pick 3 teams and earn points based on their goalie performances. Play now at NHL.com/Pepsi Goalie Challenge for a chance to score a grand prize trip to a 2025 Stanley Cup Final game.
Smash through the action. Break the ice with On the Fly. Catch every gargantuan goal.
Cheers, hockey fans. Thanks for hanging out with us for the Canada-Germany game in the World Junior Hockey Championships tonight. I have a special message. We're doing a special campaign here for SickKids Hospital. You know, if you've been here for a while, we do campaigns all the time. The Blue Jays, Summer Rally, the Fall Drive, now this Football Frenzy. And we've got a special guest who has the hockey tie. Mr. Joe Bowen, take it away.
Cheers, insiders and football fans all over the world. This is Joe Bowen, Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and, more importantly under these circumstances, a huge football fan of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Well, we want to thank you for hanging out with us and cheering on your favorite team during the SickKids Football Frenzy campaign here on TSI.
And easiest to apply paint sealant you have ever used. Buy any of Cerakote ceramic products for under $20 today.
Got it. We started to use Square as we moved from one location to 2. We quickly realized that we needed better data so that we could customize the curation for each of the markets. Originally, we started with the KDS. By adding the Square Online for the full grocery offering, we hoped to grow sales about 20-25%. And we used the loyalty program, which has definitely generated a lot of repeat business. Since onboarding with Square, we've tripled the business. It's been fantastic.
What's up, Canada fans and hockey fans from around the world? Thank you for joining us tonight and cheering on Team Canada here in the chat on TSI. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let's see how far out our reach goes here on TSI and how many people all over the world are watching this game with us right now. Thank you for letting us know your city and state, city and province, as well as your location and what country, anywhere else in the world. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Canada, go! We're getting back on track tonight against Germany.
Game nights start with NHL Tonight, only on NHL Network.
James Duthie back with your first intermission. The revamped power play works instantly for Canada. Bumper Bonk lives up to that name. The goal scorer now standing by with our Kenzie Lalonde.
Well, Oliver, you scored yourself there a nice power play goal. You're seeing some familiar faces, Dickinson, Cowan, guys you play with London on the power play. So it's kind of like muscle memory now that you guys are back together.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's easier to read off guys like you play with your whole life, obviously. Or not your whole life, but the last 4 years, so yeah.
Chunk of junior hockey. Word on the street is your nickname's Bumper Bonk. Is there anything to that?
Just the position I played last year, and it kind of caught on. Everyone started calling me that, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, a nice goal here, and it brought some smiles to your family's faces as well. It must be nice to bring your parents to their feet.
Yeah, it's great to see my dad and my mom smiling like that. That's all I want to do, so yeah, it's good.
All right, best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
James Duthie back with Cheryl Pounder and Jeff O'Neill and Bob McKenzie. I get to sit next to an analyst who doubled as a coach for 10 years coaching her daughters, and she has been screaming since the start of this tournament, why isn't Bonk in the bumper position like he is in London? They finally do it, and you finally get rewarded.
It just didn't make sense to me. I mean, you look at London, and they just got such an efficient power play leading the OHL, and Dickinson's on the back, and now all of a sudden he's not in, and Bonk, who normally plays the bumper, he's out. Well, there's familiarity in a short-term tournament as well. You can see the communication. We knew right off the draw that this puck, if it was won, was going to go to Dickinson, and then it was going to go to Easton Cowan. Why? Because there is that familiarity, and boom, what happened? They won it, and it goes to Easton Cowan, and then they get a shot. All of a sudden, now they're on retrieval. You start to see some motion because there is that chemistry between them. You can see Bonk in the bumper position right now. He's a right-handed shot. This puck's going to make its way up top and then back down low. You see the triangle, and you see Cowan as a lefty, and that is going to be a quick rip, right? Bonk gets his stick available, a quick on, quick off. Just love the fact that there is that chemistry and familiarity, and they did it.
It's only 20 minutes, but Sam Dickinson looks so much more comfortable in the first period of this game than he has in any of the hockey in the first 2 games of this tournament. He looks like the most dominant defenseman in the Ontario Hockey League, which he is on most nights.
Bonks, that's a crazy transition. Usually it's like you're off the power play, you'll never be on it again. He just moved, a defenseman moved from the point to the bumper. I've never seen that. It's pretty crazy and beneficial for him.
And one thing with Dickinson on the back, you want to be a dual threat, right? Anytime you're in a quarterback position. And now all of a sudden you've got vision, so the options are going to work through him, but then you also have a great shot as well, so a dual threat.
I don't know if any of you saw the media scrum with Easton Cowan yesterday. Those were tough interviews for all the Canadian players after the loss to Latvia, but there was a slow burn going on with every single question. You could just tell he did not want to talk about an embarrassment and what this meant to the Canadian team. And it feels like he bottled that energy and brought it out in a positive way on this night.
He took it right out there onto the ice, James. That was a fantastic period from Easton Cowan. I did not love his game against Latvia. One of the tendencies he has when he struggles, he wants to take the puck way away from the net. This first period, he was on it and making things happen. He drew the penalty for this goal. He obviously set up Bonk here. He was physical, and he just had an intensity. That hit right there. And I have a feeling, I'm not sure, Bobby, maybe you could confirm it, he loves making people mad out there on the opposition. He's always chirping, he's always yelling. I don't know why guys need to do that, but for him, it gets him into the hockey game and it makes him successful.
Oh yeah, he's an agitator.
Oh, he
draws a lot of penalties.
And one thing, you know, this game is still, there's only a 1-goal deficit right now in terms of Germany against the Canadians. And so they have to make sure that they don't get individual. You saw them sharing the puck. You saw motion around the puck, trying to create 2-on-1s. I thought against Latvia, they started to play, pretty individual. You talked about it too, just that trying to skill their way to the net.
Yeah, and we've been harping for 48 hours about not taking penalties. They had 14 times shorthanded after 2 games, which was by far the most in the tournament. The bonk slash was a penalty, but the other one, the first one, not necessarily so.
As Sam Dickinson sitting in the penalty box said, what the fudge? Seriously, they looked at it for a major, and you couldn't even imagine that they could get it that wrong, and thankfully for Team Canada, they didn't. He's trying to avoid the guy. It's just a collision. Fair enough, they call a penalty, but boy, oh boy, even that was questionable. But I'll tell you what, there we go. Carter George came up big. And the other thing we should point out, the shots are 9-9 after the first period.
Yeah.
Germany, by virtue of that power play, they had some good opportunities, and Carter George shut the door, and he's going to have to continue doing that to finish off the penalty kill here. So Canada, again, takes 2 penalties in the first period. They're on pace for 6. We'll give Dickinson a free pass on the first one, but you're right, Bonk took a slash that negated the power play at the
This George, I mean, we're only 4 periods into his tenure, but he looks as solid as any World Junior goalie we've seen for a while.
I love it how he's got the crowd on his back. Not often is a goal like create that kind of buzz within the crowd. They might need that later on in the tournament. I've never seen the goalie do that.
Yeah,
but it's good for him to get that crowd on his back.
Yeah, again, and quiet for most of the period. Didn't have a lot, but when he does, he just looks so calm and cool in there.
Well, that's the big thing. If you're going to be a big game player, you have to come up with the timely save, and that's exactly what he does. He just looks poised in the crease. I don't know his movements. You know, they're just he's so versatile in there that when he pushes from post to post, he's just strong. And whenever you say someone's got quiet feet, it just gives you tons of confidence, in particular from the defense out.
I know Canadian fans, you know, they like the romps, especially in the preliminary round, at least 1 or 2 of them. But this group right here, this Group A, is one of the tightest groups with the way Latvia's been playing so far, the way Germany's been playing so far, that we've seen from 1 to 5 in a long time at this World Juniors. Let's look at the numbers from our friends at Sportlogic through 1 period of play. Canada almost twice as much time in the offensive zone. Besides that, cycle chances definitely working Canada's way, but the slot shots almost dead even as the Germans hanging around as they've done in their first 2 games. Remember, they were within 1 of the Americans halfway through the game, within 1 of the Finns late in the 3rd period of that game, within 1 of the Canadians with the 2nd period just ahead.
Professional athletes are discovering that using the emergency oxygen tanks on the sidelines helped them catch their breath faster.
Boost Oxygen has given the average athlete the same access to the powerful supplemental oxygen that professional athletes have. Boost Oxygen. Help is here.
Does your fiance know you're spending this much money?
Is it bad?
$284 a month on subscriptions.
Where do you see that?
Just get Rocket Money. It shows all your subscriptions in one place, and you can cancel the ones you don't use with just a few taps. Download the app today.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Whoa, now that's a smooth shave. You might think these guys had to pay top dollar for a shave that smooth, but they just used Harry's. With 5 blades that stay sharp, shave after shave, a lubricating strip with aloe, a flex hinge, and a trimmer blade, it's hard to believe refills start at just $2, half of what the other guys charge. Shaving with Harry's isn't pricey. It's just very, very, very smooth. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
You go to any town in Minnesota and there's a rink. It's a big deal here.
Shooting stars!
Once again, USA Hockey wins the World Junior Championship.
On sale now at 2026.worldjunior.hockey.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
I am a killer, but I wasn't born this way. I was made.
The code is to make sure you are different from the people that you killed.
They say you never forget your first crime. Want to see mine?
Add Paramount Plus with Showtime from your home screen or visit sling.com/account.
Anybody home?
This is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war.
It is a war.
This is about more than just your son.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
All right, players only. I've never liked someone that beat me up more in my life.
Pre-game with the players before the pucks drop. NHL Now, only on NHL Network.
This is NHL Network.
Hey, I'm Oliver Bonk from the London Knights, and this is In and Out Shooting. So you had 2 pucks on each side of your skate, and the coaches would pass one up. You'd either push out to shoot or push in to shoot. I think it's really good at getting you to change the angle of your shot depending on where the puck's coming and where the guys are coming. It's huge for younger hockey players to get versatility on your shot, not just shooting from one angle, kind of learning how to shoot from tons of different angles.
Might have been watching football today, but man, what a game. USA-Finland, best game of the tournament so far. Let's pick it up 3-2 Finland in the third. Brody Ziemer, who's having a really good tournament so far for the U.S. Backdoor feed, ties it up at 3, and we are off to overtime. We're in the extra frame. Hudson blows a tire, Finns 3-on-1. Tomas Juronen, winner, hero. Finland look really good today, much better than their first 2 games. They win at no T. Switzerland, Sweden, 4-1 Sweden in the second, and on the power play, Tom Wilander, the Vancouver Canucks prospect, second of the game. He's been really good. 5-1 Sweden. Pretty much everybody on Sweden's been really good. Jump to the third, 6-2. Another man advantage. There was 8 power play goals in this game. The future Red Wing, Axel Sandin Pellikka, is having a tournament. Swedish captain has his 4th already. Sweden wins 7-5. Czechia, Slovakia, old-time rivalry. First period, 1-0 Czechia. Adam Jeko to Pavel Simak. Jeko to Simak, and it's 2-0 Czechia. Then the second period, 2-on-1 break. Man, the Czechs look really good again this year. Shallow will finish. Czechia wins at 4-2 and remain undefeated. Their game against Sweden, New Year's Eve, will decide that group. 2 games tomorrow with the World Juniors. Slovakia and Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan looks like the weak link in the tournament so far. They've had a rough time. So Slovakia likely to finish 3rd in that group, which will have implications for Canada, US, Finland. Whoever comes second in Group A would play them in the quarterfinals. And then Germany and Latvia, depending on what happens tonight, that game at 3:30 Eastern could decide who makes the quarters, who goes to relegation. But again, that
Full-on contact. That is AFC North football.
You can't strip stuff. That's the NFL, man. It comes at you every week.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own.
And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Back here in Ottawa, Oliver Bonk has his first World Junior goal. Didn't score last year for Canada. It's a power play goal at 9:40 to give Canada a 1-0 lead. The shots are even at 9, although Canada had plenty more attempts in that first period. Gord Miller, Mike Johnson, we talked about the fact that Canada had 121 shot attempts against Latvia the other night, but getting it through has been a problem.
Not quite as busy in the first period tonight, but the same shooter's mentality was there. And a lot of talk about getting pucks to the net and getting bodies to the net. And you can see Canada really trying to be deliberate when they got the puck in the offensive zone to put it to the net. Now, as you mentioned, 9 shot on net, that's okay. But with the amount of time they had in the offensive zone, they'd like to be a little bit cleaner. Just a few too many. Now give Germany credit. They're getting in the way. They're sacrificing, as every team does. Whether it's the pre-shot movement, whether it's the actual shooter being a bit more mindful or creative to get it past the shot blocker. You don't want 9 shots on net, 6 shots that have been blocked, and 9 misses, 15 misses, just 9 on net. You'd like to flip that with 15 on net and maybe just 9 misses. And if you were to do that, you would find a lot more offense if you're Canada.
So the teams will start the second period 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 25 seconds. Then there'll be a 19-second German power play as Bonk serves the remainder of his slashing penalty. 1-0 Canada leads. Canada 17-0 all time against Germany. Seidel works ahead for Panoha, jumping in, and Panoha goes back. Seidel swings that back for Handel, moving in. Handel centers it, bouncing puck in front, got away from Panoha. Now a turnover by Cowan. Chipped at by Price, picked up by Sunk. Throws that through the crease. And back down to the German zone as Panoha has a quick look back at Cowan into the forecheck. And Cowan lost an edge and falls, so a brief 4-on-3 now for Germany. Trumpet moves in, Gibson knocks that away. It's picked up by Nadeau. 2-on-1. He's got Rakoff with him. Nadeau for Rakoff. In shoot, he fired that just wide. Now Gibson back with it. 20 seconds to go on the German penalty, then a brief power play. Tanner Molendyk, who led Canada in ice time in the first period. Oh, great move there, but taken down by Trumpet. And that may draw some scrutiny. They're calling that a trip, but that looked more like a knee.
That was some serious lateral movement by Molendyk with speed. Trotman,
Team Germany number 22,
no
2 minutes tripping.
He sticks the leg out to get a piece, not the knee. I think that'll stay as a trip. This is what makes Andrew Gibson so good. Draws in the guy, pokes it loose, and cues up an odd man rush going against the other way. And Rakoff rolled that off the post. I think he hits the post here. Or he can't. Oh, Pertut with a save. And a good one at that. Right off the toe, so close. 4-on-3 here for 12 seconds. So now 4-on-4 for another 20. And then a power play.
Cowan winds in. Easton Cowan with a step. Throws it back. And off the bench comes Gibson. Bumps it back to Cat. And away comes Berkeley Cat. Saskatoon native plays it across for Cowan. Walks it in, shoots, and Pertut makes the stop. Berkeley Catton, longtime member of Canadian under-18 teams. Played in the 2023 Hlinka Gretzky Cup, won a gold medal there, led the tournament in scoring. 54 goals in 68 games last year for Spokane in the Western League. 14-28 to start this year. The highest drafted Canadian player, picked 8th overall in the 2024 NHL draft. Ritchie banks that back for Dickinson. Now Canada to the power play for 1:26 as Bonk steps on and goes right to the bumper spot. Cat swings around Dickinson, feeds it across to Sam Dickinson. Walks in, drops it back for Cowan. Crisscrossing with Cat. Cowan takes the return pass and shoots. Pertut save. Bonk was right there for the rebound, but Nico Pertut has it.
So lots of motion for the first unit up top. But with Bonk playing the bumper position, there's not a lot of traffic around the front of the net. Catton on the back door, but no one really in the eyes of Pertut. He's going to take a pretty special shot to cause him problems. And he makes a nice glove save and snares it.
Pertut was with the German team last year, did not play any games.
He was very good, even though he gave up 10 against the U.S. in the game 1.
Now Cowan chips that back. Picked up by Dickinson. Dickinson lines that back for Ritchie to Cowan in full stride. Cowan drops it back. Bonk to Dickinson. Across to Cowan. Easton Cowan now changing spots with Dickinson. Teed up for a one-timer. Cowan shoots and Pertut punches that away. Captain trying to dig it free. Work loose for Ritchie. Across to Cowan. Back down to Ritchie. Dickinson waiting for the one-timer. Ritchie drops it back to him. Dickinson. Back with it. Sam Dickinson. Trying to feed that back door for Catton. It's slapped down the ice by Ruckdaschel. And Ritchie swings back with 15 seconds to go on the power play. Leaves it there for Cowan. Cowan drops it off to Ritchie. Winds it across the line. Drops it back. Jagger. Back for Nadeau. Nadeau to Jagger. Works in. Slaps it down to Cowan. 2 shots in the power play. Dickinson feeds that back door shot bounced away. Nadeau back with it. Minio steps off the bench. Here's Jagger with it. Trying to find Minio. Munzenberger knocked that down, and Brandl has it back for Germany. Bangs that rink wide. And Minio back to pick it up. For Nadeau. The New Brunswick native winds through center ice. Bangs that back ahead for Cataford. Jagger knocks that down for Nadeau. Back for Jagger. The pass was in behind him, and a chance now for Germany to bust out. And Buss steps around Price. Buss still with it, moves it and shoots, and George makes the save short side. So a good dash there from Lenny Buss, whose father and grandfather are both in the German Hockey Hall of Fame.
No pressure, kid. Just Hall of Fame or bust. But Buss driving wide. Tries to get a shot in on George. He's had a little quiet time. Now, here's the rotation up top. If there's nobody in front of the net, Easton Cowan, while you like the shot focus, which we talked about, he doesn't shoot the puck well enough. You know, like, not many people do to take wristers or back foot one-timers without a screen. So if you're going to shoot up top, someone's got to go plant themselves in front of the net and not off the side.
Tobias Schwartz winds in, long shot, glove by George. And he'll hang on to that. Carter George, the 18-year-old from Thunder Bay, Ontario, opened with a shutout against the Finns. He's an LA Kings second-round pick. He's a gold medalist for Canada at the IHF Under-18 tournament last spring. 6-0 and .915 save percentage. He was the top goalie in that tournament. The OHL Scholastic Player of the Year last year.
My kind of guy. Hit the books. Another example of where a goalie's record is not always an indicator of how good a goaltender is.
Right. Owen Sound is rebuilding this year. Here's Gibson on it. Puck loose behind the goal, is picked out. Brooke Daschel spins off Luchenko. Shoots him a sharp angle. Glove saved by George. Now, George's record is 4-13-5.
Yeah.
He's got a .905 save percentage, but not getting a ton of goal support.
The one thing is the losses have not shaken his confidence, because he arrived at camp fully believing that he deserved and was good enough to get the #1 job, and was probably the clubhouse favorite before they started, and did nothing to change that opinion.
He's won gold at both the IHF Under-18 tournament and the Hlinka Gretzky Cup Summer Tournament back in 2023. That tournament alternates between North America and Europe, or has in recent years. It'll be in Czechia and Slovakia this coming summer. A lot of top Canadian players can't play in the IHF tournament because the CHL playoffs are going on. Luchenko for Gauthier trying to center it. Ethan Gauthier stays on it. Gauthier slides that back for Raykov. To the point. Minio is shot. That deflects wide. Now picked out by Seidel. Seidel moves out ahead for Daschel. Price goes back. Plays it around to Raykov. Chips that quickly for Luchenko and takes the return pass. And Raykov sends it in. Raykov was traded by Kitchener to Brampton last year for 10 draft picks.
Just 10. Who'd you get traded for? The Bakers does it to people.
No, loose puck in front. McKenna walks it and shoots. Just missed. McKenna back on it. Gavin McKenna has the puck skip away from him. Trumpman pivots back as McKenna stays on him. Bangs around for Max Hensa. Out to center ice, it's chipped back, and Bonk goes back to pick it up. Oliver Bonk scoops that back to Dickinson, who kicks that to Catton. Berkeley Catton through the middle for Bonk. And Hensa knocks that down to the German line. Played back in by Schaefer as Dickinson goes back and finds Pinelli to Catton in stride. Rink wide, he goes for McKenna. Gavin McKenna walks in, feeds it rink wide, and Pinelli shoots, that goes wide. And McKenna knocks down the rebound. McKenna back in for Catton, walks in a backhand shot. And Pertuk got a piece of that. This line buzzing for Canada. Bonk sends it back in. Mayer lifts that back out. Now at center ice, it's swatted back in by Brandl. George up the plate. It skipped away from him as Akey goes back, being tied up there.
Nice play.
By Sauger. Lead pass to Pinelli. Chips it across to McKenna. Gavin McKenna in, trying to feed that back and forth for Pinelli. That was broken out. Sager back on it. To the line, it's held there by Icky. Feeds that back in. Meyer has his pass picked off by Molendyke. Drops it back to Pinelli. He lost it. And Elias Poole brings it back out for Germany. Chips it back down to the Canadian zone as the Germans need a change. In comes Pinelli. Trying to catch them on that change. Pinelli, great move in front. Pinelli spins it back. And Nadeau can get a shot away. Nadeau feeds it back. Minio with a long shot. And Perr took the save on that. Jagr knocked that free. Bounces back to Nadeau. Goes behind the back. Here's a chance in front for Hell. And Perr took just a piece of that. Shots piling up for Canada. Reigns a 1-0 lead. Sager. Up ahead to Boost. That's knocked away from him. And gathered back up by Padoja. Jagr feeds that back. And now Minio. Howe throws that rink wide for Price. Jagr heads off on a change. And it's moved in by Minio. Ritchie back on it. Drops it off for Cowan. That skipped away from him. And Lewandowski brings it back out for Germany. George leaves it there. Minio. Lead pass to Cowan.
A couple times he's had a tumble with edges.
Minio to Price. Minio. That pass bounced off the stick of Ritchie. And Ritchie races back to pick up the loose puck. Price to Minio. In comes Cowan with it. Easton Cowan winds in. He's belted down there by Mowell. Late pass. That long shot steered away by George off the stick of Mowell. Ritchie had lost his stick in front. Now it's brought in. Baudouin. Along with Dickinson. Big collision in the corner. And Baudouin stays upright as he knocked down Henson.
Sticks down. Sticks down. Sticks down.
Ritchie back on it. Big battle for the puck in behind the goal. Baudouin in there as well. Two of Canada's biggest players are down there poking away at it. And Ritchie pulled it free for a moment. Baudouin as well. And finally picked back out. Dickinson walks back across, feeds it down to Gauthier. And we got a penalty coming here. It'll be a tripping call to Canada as Germany goes to the power play. And pop goes the bottle.
It turns first impressions into lasting.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this stuff.
Cheers, hockey fans! Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for Canada against Germany, the World Junior Hockey Championships. In my opinion, one of the best hockey tournaments ever. Right up there. I like it better than the Olympics, personally, especially now. Thank you for being here. Canada with a must-win game tonight. We got to get it done after that shock loss to Latvia. But hey, throw it out. Let's go. We're on the ice tonight. Thank you for being here. Let's cheer on Canada loud. And please hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more Canada fans here in the chat having a good time. We'll see you back in there. Go Canada, go.
And at the end of it, he pulls out the feet of Henson. It is an undisciplined penalty.
You're coming the back leg. No, you're going around, you're taking the back leg. Yeah,
does he want to dive along with the trip? But the standard players got to pick up on it. It's tight tonight.
Germany 0 for 1 with 3 shots on the power play so far. That long shot by Topman blocked by Cataford and back down to the German line. Last year, the final game of the preliminary round, Germany and Canada New Year's Eve was 3-3 in the third period. That long shot whistled wide by Sung.
Shoot it really well.
Goche knocked that back out as Sunk is back to pick it up. Julius Sunk, 16 goals in 29 games this year for Moncton. That sharp angle shot was blocked.
That hurt.
And Gibson is slow to get to his feet. He's hurt. Long shot by Trotman, and Gibson's in some distress.
Got him in a tough spot.
Edwin Trotman feeds it back down. A hard shot taken there by Szymanski and sent down the ice by Molendyk as Gibson goes back.
It's going to the dressing room.
It's going right down the tunnel to the Canadian room. Canada lost Matthew Schaefer in the last game for the tournament. In comes Boos. Boos feeds it back in front. Bouncing puck on the side of the goal. Knocked down by Howe, who sends it down the ice. Canada has filled out its full roster complement of 22 skaters and 3 goaltenders. Now Boos with it. And across the line, Boos drops that back in the high slot, sent down the ice by Howe. In case of extreme injury issue, you can apply to the IHF to have emergency spots. Here's Boos with it.
Certainly if you lost 2 goaltenders, you'd be able to grab another one.
Right. Ruckdaschel in the corner with it. Final second of this power play. Ruckdaschel takes a spill. Lewandowski feeds it back in front of the side of the goal by Handel. Ruckdaschel down again as Ritchie steps out. 2 shots for the Germans on that power play. And Bonk back with it. Looks ahead for Ritchie. He finds Luchenko. Jet Luchenko feeds it back across just out of the reach of Jagger. And brought back by Lewandowski. Feeds it back down the Canadian zone, and Andrew Gibson is back on the Canadian bench. Here's Price with it. Bags it back around, picked up at center ice by Nihus. And here is Minio. Sawyer Minio for Caden Price. Lead pass finds Cat in with Pinelli. And Pinelli gathers up the puck. Shoots short side. And Pertuk makes the stop. 1-0 Canada leads here in the second period of the 2025 World Junior Hockey Championship.
It's an exciting time of year. All these young players, they're all revved up.
We love us some World Juniors.
Don't miss Kazakhstan versus Slovakia at the 2025 World Junior Championship, Monday, 1 Eastern on NHL Network.
The ones who get it done.
Introducing Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Rather than covering up odor with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor before it starts. 72 hours later, and I still smell like I just stepped out of the shower. Thanks, Mando.
For the best deals, go to shopmando.com.
Team Canada coaches breathing a sigh of relief as Andrew Gibson returns after taking a shot where you don't want to take a shot. Trying to stay in the game, obviously struggling. No sympathy from Ivan Kovic, who comes back with a smile. And prior to that power play, here you see Hensa trying to get the guys going. They know it's 1-0. Yeah. It's a 1-0 game. And every opportunity for Germany to pull even, they're trying to channel their Latvian energy from a couple nights ago.
Catton for the face-off against Brandel. Catton wins that cleanly back to Molendyk. Drops it off to McKenna with a long shot. That was blocked in front. Now Gibson knocks it down at the line, but it's offside. PWHL action as the Boston Fleet taking on Montreal Victoire at Bell Place. Tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. 1 game tomorrow on this side of the draw. It's Latvia and Germany afternoon games. We mentioned a tight turnaround for the Germans after the night game tonight. And a capacity crowd of better than 18,500 here tonight. And no, I don't have tickets for the New Year's Eve game.
I've already asked them for them.
Long shooting, bounces back in front to Molendyk. Tanner Molendyk back around to Pinelli. Snaps that pass ahead for Catton, able to catch it. Moves it back for McKenna. Blind pass across to Pinelli with a shot. Neo's going to stick on that. Throw back in front. McKenna rolled it wide. This group has created some chances for Canada here tonight. Now this bank back down to the Canadian zone. George steers it across the Molendyk, who pivots back. Gibson back with it. At the line, the puck bounced back out. And Szymanski moved it in offside, called against the Germans.
You're right, this line has been around it. They've had close moments, and communication a big part of the game. Listen to this. Hear that, hey? That was Pinelli at his own blue line, letting McKenna know, here I come, before McKenna even gets the puck. McKenna doesn't look, he hears, he knows, and he puts it right in stride for an opportunity for Pinelli. That is, Pinelli, that is a good look. That's how you do it on the ice. Let people know where you're coming from.
Dropping along, shooting, glove down by George. Here's Bonk on it. Up for Ritchie, for Cowan. And now Bonk across to Dickinson. Sam Dickinson. Diagonal shooting goes right to Ritchie, but that's
straight out.
Szymanski, and that's going to be a penalty on Germany for delay of game as Szymanski put it straight out. Noah Szymanski plays for Powell River in the BC Junior League. Began the year with Wenatchee of the Western League.
That's a tough one. Puck's rolling. He's under duress.
Team Germany, player number 8, minor penalty for delaying the game. Puck out.
He's trying to chop it back up the boards, but when it's rolling that much, you're always going to go right underneath it. And Szymanski not able to put all that together in the moment. Sails it into the glass. And let's see if Canada, we know they want Dickinson to shoot. They know they want Ritchie and Easton Cowan to shoot. But can they get in front of the eyes of Pertuk while they're doing it?
Canada had is 1 for 5 on the power play. Had a very short one last time, but it does count as a power play opportunity. 6 shots so far. Dickinson back at the point. Across to Cowan. Down to Catton. Berkeley Catton. Winds it back across to Ritchie. Cal Ritchie back to Dickinson. A hard shot that was blocked and sent down the ice by Ruckdaschel. Ritchie leaves it there for Dickinson. Moves back across the line, holds possession, feeds that back for Bonk. Oliver Bonk to Dickinson. They trade places, and now Dickinson feeds it across to Ritchie. Cal Ritchie back across to Cowan. Cowan to the goal mouth, tap back to Dickinson. Dickinson feeds it back across to Cowan. Walks in, waits, sets it up for Ritchie with a hard shot. Pertuk makes the save. Cowan back with it. Cowan. Crisscrossing with Dickinson again, back for Ritchie. To Cowan, a shot in the skate of Nihus and bounced wide. Dickinson back in for Catton. Meyer got to it. And now Nihus backhands that ahead, and Brendel had disrupted by Bonk, but it's sent down the ice. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Here comes the second unit. Rakoff out there as Dickinson banks that back for McKenna. Heads off on a change. And away comes Gavin McKenna. Just turned 17. In comes McKenna with a head of steam. McKenna throws it back in the slot. That's picked on. Now glove down as Molendyk saved that clearing attempt. Molendyk back for Rakoff. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked. McKenna back down to Nadeau. Nadeau feeds that back to Molendyk. Molendyk shoots. That's blocked. And Schwartz feeds it out. Well, the Germans are laying out in front of shots.
Canada's given them time to get in front of them, though, on the power play. A lot of dusting it off before they release it.
And only 1 shot got through. Still 1-0 Canada, inside 5 to go here in the second. In comes Molendyk. Kicks it back across to Rakoff. Now Szymanski just out of the box, pokes that back down to the Canadian zone. Video. Nadeau. Up for McKenna. In with Pinelli. McKenna. And that poked off his stick. And now McKenna. Great play to move it to Pinelli. Shoots. Kicked out by Pertuk. Nadeau couldn't reach the rebound. And now sent down the ice by Ruckdaschel. Icing called against Germany.
Takes a lot of courage to hang in front of these shooters for Canada. Germany showing plenty of that tonight. Time and again on the power play specifically. Guys are going laterally, they're going down, they're getting wide. They're not worried about where it's going to hit them. Hands, calves, ankles, whatever, it all hurts. But they keep on putting themselves in front of it so it doesn't get quite down to Pertu.
Face off in the German zone. Face off was won by Sumpf. And Panoja lays out ahead for side loop, banks it down to the Canadian zone, and Germany can start a change. Price up for Baudouin. Slides out ahead to Pinelli. In with Luchenko. Pinelli winds and he shoots, just missed wide. Gibson holds it, feeds that back down to Pinelli. Centers it for Baudouin. It jumped off his stick. Pertu had lost his goal stick, now quickly retrieves it. Gibson back around to Pinelli. Pass for Price, too far for him. And Gibson ranges back. Gibson. Out for Baudouin. That missed. An icing called against Canada. 3:28 to go in the second period.
Canada, this period feels very much like last period. They have the puck a lot. They've had a couple power plays, but they haven't quite been able to generate the really high-end, grade A chances. And the one-timer by Ritchie on the power play, but a lot of near misses, not quite connecting. It does get frustrating. These are all players who expect to score.
And the referee, Jan Rybak, is talking to both benches, I believe, about late changes. So Canada is the home team and has the last change. Of course, Canada couldn't change after that icing. And now Baudouin gets a warning on the face-off.
Don't think that puck ever got down to the ice. Baudouin timed it too well.
Baudouin wins it cleanly anyway to Price. Lifts it back to center. Luchenko looking for it. Nihus plays it back across to Lewandowski. Meyer to Nihus. Lifted back down. It's a bouncing puck guard by Gibson. And Andrew Gibson plays it back around to Rakoff, and it's knocked down by Lewandowski. Lewandowski rings it back around. Rakoff got a stick on it. Long shot by Trotman, almost tipped there by Schwartz. Now loose behind the goal, Lewandowski. Poked free by Price. And Price back around to Rakoff. Slides that back for Gauthier. Ethan Gauthier banks it back down to the German zone, and Canada makes a change. Big hit by Rakoff. Hammered down Trotman, and Trotman slow to get to his feet. Back of the line is Dickinson. Shoots. That goes wide, and Trotman just now getting up. As Rakoff picks it up, he shoots. It's tipped wide by Cataford. Another chance for Dickinson. Stopped by Pertu. And the Germans say they've done another big hit, and Gauthier is going to get a penalty for this one. He knocked down Lenny Boos. And that'll be a cross-checking call that will send Germany to another power play. 2:24 to go here in the second period. Bodies flying in Ottawa, and a German power play coming.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Join millions worldwide on hockey's #1 destination. Follow any league, team, or talent. Track all trades and compare the players shaping the game. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
I'm Anya's indecision. I thought we were good. Like, with home projects, I used to make sure she got so twisted around, she wasn't even sure where to start. But Thumbtack changed her. With all the plans and guides and reminders, Anya's getting stuff done. And I'm getting ghosted.
Indecision doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
Germany heads back to the power play as Ethan Gauthier heads to the penalty box. Trotman didn't like the hit from Rakoff, so he comes in. That's a pretty good little cross check, not called there. And then Gauthier comes in.
That's a shove.
That's not a penalty. He had the puck on his stick. That's not a cross check. That's a shove. That's a hit.
Germany to the power play for the third time. 5 shots so far.
Well, that's a reaction too. The heavy hit against Trotman. That wasn't called a penalty.
Jagger won the face-off. Howe sends it down. This is Edmund Trotman, plays for Cologne in the DEL. Cap of this German team, plays it back. Sumpf in across the line. Julius Sumpf. Poke check there by Jagger. Sumpf plays it back around to Seidel. Schaefer parks in front. Seidel feeds it for Szymanski with a shot. George the save, and he hangs on.
Good save by George. Szymanski finds the quiet zone. It's a lot like the the Oliver Bonk goal. And the bumper sliding into position. Skilled player dragging in checks and then get it to the shooter. Szymanski does a nice job getting it up. Just a good save by George. It cannot be easy.
No.
Being a goaltending parents, siblings.
Luchenko for the faceoff now against Sumpf. And Luchenko wins that cleanly. Molendyk plays it around. And slapped down the ice by Nadeau. Paratuk plays it back around for Sumpf. Julius Sumpf gains center ice and winds in. Plays it back across for Szymanski. Sumpf back on it for Schaefer to Seidel. So one Seidel pivots back in the corner for Trotman to Sumpf. Has a lane, feeds it down and shoots, and that's just wide of the goal. Trotman holds it. Now Schaefer plays it to an open corner. In behind the goal, Schaefer banks it back for Sumpf. And Sumpf shoots, that goes wide. Back for Seidel. Seidel winds in. He shoots, that goes wide. The puck to the line and not out. Helped by Trotman. Now Nadeau with a steal. Looks up for Luchenko at the end of a very long penalty kill shift. He'll go off. Just his luck. Could have been a short-handed breakaway. Now Seidel winds in. Seidel shoots. That's off the stick of George and wide. Molendyk takes a slap at that and sends it down. As Baudouin comes in on the penalty kill. Paratuk plays it around. For Ruckdaschel. One shot for Germany on that power play. Still 1-0 Canada. As time winds down here in the second period. Handel feeds it down. Back goes Gibson for it. Gibson has time, finds it across. Dickinson looks ahead for Gauthier out of the box, but that's icing called against Canada. 9.3 seconds to go.
So not a lot going on. The one shot by Szymanski on the power play. And another opportunity goes by the wayside. Now Sumpf can really shoot it. Head up. He just pops off his stick. Sailed on him as Szymanski's pumping him down towards the net. Looking for... you see his reaction.
Baudouin for the face-off against Linus Brandl. 9.3 seconds to go in the second. Scramble draw, picked out by Cataford, sends it out. And Canada will go to the dressing room with still a 1-0 lead. It's the 2025 World Junior Hockey Championship from Ottawa. Our second intermission is coming right up.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Cheers, hockey fans. Thanks for hanging out with us for the Canada-Germany game in the World Junior Hockey Championships tonight. I have a special message. We're doing a special campaign here for SickKids Hospital. You know, if you've been here for a while, we do campaigns all the time. The Blue Jays, Summer Rally, the Fall Drive, now this Football Frenzy. And we've got a special guest who has the hockey tie. Mr. Joe Bowen, take it away.
Cheers, insiders and football fans all over the world. This is Joe Bowen, Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and, more importantly under these circumstances, a huge football fan of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Well, we want to thank you for hanging out with us and cheering on your favorite team during the SickKids Football Frenzy campaign here on TSI.
What's up, Canada fans and hockey fans from around the world? Thank you for joining us tonight and cheering on Team Canada here in the chat on TSI. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let's see how far out our reach goes here on TSI and how many people all over the world are watching this game with us right now. Thank you for letting us know your city and state, city and province, as well as your location and what country, anywhere else in the world. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Canada, go! We're getting back on track tonight against Germany.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
I am now a person in long-term sustained recovery from substance use. I knew that I had something that could help. So when I tell people like poetry saved my life, hope can save your life, it's not a platitude.
The Winter Classic returns to Wrigley.
Get ready for the Winter Classic.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be a different experience, which is neat.
Coverage of the Winter Classic begins New Year's Eve on NHL Network.
It's a marquee matchup in every sense of the word. A brilliant glove stop.
Sam Reinhart, a rocket of a shot by Artemi Panarin.
These two teams go at it.
Hi, I'm Andrew Gibson from the Sioux Greyhounds, and this is Surf to Transition. Get to the middle of the ice, go back for a puck, shoulder check, get my feet around it, use a little bit of deception, hit the winger, and then surf the opposing winger, taking away the middle of the ice with my stick, and then I drive through their hands, through their stick, I pick up the puck, and I shoulder check, look up ice, and get ready for the rush. Doing a lot of these types of drills helps you when it comes to game time, and doing that repetition over and over just becomes muscle memory and helps you for those game situations. Having those reps under your belt, knowing that you're capable of doing that and seeing yourself go through that with speed and being able to do that in practice gives you the confidence to do that in the game.
Well, I don't have to tell any of you watching that there is an air of familiarity through 2 periods of play in this one. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan native Tanner Howe now with Kenzie Lalonde.
Well, Tanner, another busy period, lots of special teams. You're a big man on the penalty kill. Just what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, it's a tight game. They're closing the middle, and I think we're doing a good job at getting pucks to the net and causing chaos. And that's why there's a lot of penalties. So.
You're one of the 4 guys from Saskatchewan on this team here. Just how much pride do you take in being from the prairies?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think there's 4 or 5 of us, so it's pretty cool. We grew up together, so to be playing on this team together is super cool.
You mentioned it, just a 1-goal lead right now. What's it going to take to get an insurance goal here?
Yeah, I think our transition game has been pretty good. I think we got to keep doing that, get behind their D, and if we do that, we'll come out on top.
All right, have fun.
Thank you.
Favorite player was Sidney Crosby, and then he got drafted by the Penguins and got to meet Sidney Crosby at development camp and was as impressed as he thought he would be. There's Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. So here we are again. 1-0 Canada, and that inability to get the second goal. That was the really difference when the Americans played Latvia. It was also a close game, but once they got the second goal, it kind of sucked the air out of Latvia. When you don't get that second goal and you let them in it longer and longer and longer. We're 5 periods in now of Latvia and Germany versus Canada. What do we make of this Canadian team?
Well, in the summer camp, Dave Cameron and the coaching staff had a number of slogans and themes they delivered to the team, and one of them was no easy games. And they wanted them to be prepared for no easy games, but it's also becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy against Latvia and Canada, and you hit it now. Now, is Canada playing a more aesthetically pleasing brand of hockey tonight than they did even against Latvia? I would say, generally speaking, yes, the power play looks better. They got a power play goal. It looks better. But I still think at the end of the day, they're generating more light than heat. And they've got to find a way to get that second goal. And you're right, because what they do, they find themselves after 40 minutes, their high danger scoring chances, in all situations, Canada led 6-3 in that period. Off the cycle, scoring chances off the cycle, they led 12-6. However, Germany led with scoring chances off turnovers 8-4, so that's something to keep an eye on. End of the day, you've got to try to find that second goal because you are playing with fire for the second consecutive game. Right now, the Germans are feeling great about themselves. It's a one-goal hockey game, the same as the Latvians felt great about themselves, and you're like that far away from national disaster.
I think when the coaches said no easy games meant when they're up 4-0, don't take your foot off the gas. But they can't get to that 4-0. It's crazy to think of the most talented, gifted playmakers and scorers in Canada, and they can't get on the board. It's like they get 2/3 of the equation right, James. They'll make an outlet pass, they'll get a 3-on-2, but then they just overpass it in the zone. And they just can't seem to get those quality looks. Tanner Howe mentioned in that interview that Germany is clogging up the middle. They've always done that against Canada, but they've always found a way to score 6 or 7 goals.
Well, muscle memory is something, right? So you can bet that Canada's sitting in that dressing room knowing that they have a 1-goal lead and what happened a few days ago against Latvia. You can also bet that Germany's sitting in their dressing room saying, hey, we're right there with them, guys. So the first 5 minutes to me are really big, but you have to put the pedal to the metal. A lot of those shots are coming from the outside. So if you look dot to dot in the offensive zone, it's coming low and from outside. You're not going to score from there. So you got to find ways to get inside, and that's going to be absolutely pivotal and critical. None of this individual stuff. We saw that against Latvia, in particular the latter half of the third period. They got to find a way to play connected, get to the paint, and take better chances on
Even
net.
the power play, they scored that goal in the first period. You're like, okay, they're all set. You're on the power play. Things are rocking. And then in the second period, it's like 2/3 of the equation is there. They get set up, they get possession, and they just can't score the goal.
It's slower than the American power play. Like it just doesn't move as quickly to generate those high quality chances.
But once you move that puck, you've got to take what you're given right away, right? Because you know that they're going to recover back to the middle and try and block shots.
And on the other side of things, they're now shorthanded 16 times in the tournament, which is the highest. And a lot of these are happening 200 feet away from their goal.
Coach has got to make a stand on this one, Jimmy. He's got to say to these guys, one more stupid penalty in the offensive zone. You simply just don't get to play anymore, because you mentioned the margin of errors while the play was going on. It's 1-0 against Germany. Sooner or later, we saw it happen against Latvia. These are going to cost them, and they're silly. And you could see after scrums, they're getting a little ticked off. And that's for junior play. That's for your club team. So the coach has got to make a stand to make these silly penalties stop.
Okay, who is generating the chances? If Canada is going to get that second goal at some point in the first 5 minutes like you talk about, who will it likely come from what you've seen?
Well, Catton's been really effective with the puck, and Ritchie and McKenna, and I think that they have established presence. And when he comes off of the rush, I think that you can really disrupt that coverage on the entry, and they've done a nice job of that. Once they're getting in, now they can create some layers. I love the delay here, but you have to have net front presence. You got to draw back. You got to pull them outside of the middle of the ice. You play a weaker opponent, guess what? They are all going to collapse to the middle of the ice. That is their swan song. That is their mantra. So if you're going to go east-west, you better make sure that you're going to get a good shot right away, but you've got to establish motion. You have to have speed on entry, because if you do, you're going to push them back. If you push them back, then you're going to be able to get more quality high-danger chances on net.
That Pinelli, Catton, McKenna line was probably the most dangerous in the second period, and I found that the Cowan line wasn't as forceful in the second period as they were in the first.
No chance you can get goalied again. It just can't happen. They got to put up a couple in the third.
Maybe Germany's going to get goalied because this guy, Carter George.
Yeah, that might have to happen.
Shots are 19-18.
And the kid, that's the one thing about these close games is there's a confidence, I think, with the Canadian team that this kid in goal is absolutely spectacular. Let's look at the numbers from Sportlogic, updated through 2 periods of play. Cheryl keeps saying it. The ozone time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they have a big advantage if they're not generating high-quality chances. And sure, cycle chances higher, rush chances 6-3, but just not a lot of... They're not causing the German goaltender to make a lot of 5-bell saves. And thus, we are at 1-0 through 2 periods of play. And as Cheryl was saying, the Germans, like the Latvians, the longer they stay in it, it gives them energy. They're blocking shots. 20 minutes to go between Canada and Germany here in the nation's capital.
I love what I do, which is help people make the switch to consumer cellular. Like our customers, Courtney and Jackie.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Consumer Cellular gives you access to a fast, reliable, nationwide network for up to half the cost of big wireless.
My previous provider was terrible.
Why are we paying this much for our cell phone bill?
Cheers, hockey fans! Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for Canada against Germany, the World Junior Hockey Championships. In my opinion, one of the best hockey tournaments ever. Right up there. I like it better than the Olympics, personally, especially now. Thank you for being here, Canada, with a must-win game tonight. We got to get it done after that shock loss to Latvia. But hey, throw it out. Let's go. We're on the ice tonight. Thank you for being here. Let's cheer on Canada loud. And please hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more Canada fans here in the chat having a good time. We'll see you back in there. Go, Canada, go.
That's a beautiful thing.
Done deal.
We'll set you up with the best plan for you and help you wrap things up with your old provider. It all takes about 20 minutes.
Switching over took about 20 minutes. That's it.
Consumer Cellular customer service reps are A1, top notch.
They are so nice. You get a human being to talk to.
It's month to month. Very simple.
You're not locked in.
I got to keep my phone. I got to keep my number.
If you're thinking about switching providers, do it.
If I can do it, you can.
That's why I love Consumer Cellular. They've made it easy.
We'd love for you to enjoy our reliable nationwide coverage and the best customer service in the business. Give us a call now and start saving up to half on what you're paying now. It only takes about 20 minutes. Call 800-357-4227 to switch and save up to half with Consumer Cellular. Plus, for a limited time, new customers get their second month free when they sign up today.
Players only. I've never liked someone that beat me up more in my life.
Those are two tough matchups. The group's pretty excited right now.
I've got a brother that doesn't take it easy on me.
Yeah. Pre-game with the players before the pucks drop. NHL Now, only on NHL Network.
Hey, this is Porter Bartone from the Brampton Steelheads, and this is slot shooting options. Start off the drill, you get a pass from the coach and you start to move either right or left. You fake a shot and then you keep on going and get a quick release and you make sure to stop. You go back the other way and you do the exact same thing. Then the last one, I go back, fake a shot, and then go in and shoot on the net. This drill helps my game, just using very deceptive movements to freeze a defender or freeze the goalie so I can get some open space on the ice, especially in the slot. I think it's very important to practice a drill like this because when you're in the slot, you got to bear down on your opportunity, and I think by really working on throwing a fake before you shoot and different kind of releases really helps score goals.
There is a Team Canada with a lot of offense right now, the Spengler Cup team. They beat Straubing 6-3 the other day. Now they get them in the semifinals Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on TSN. Logan Shaw has had a terrific tournament there. He's played for 4 different Canadian franchises. As for...
Are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama?
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
I'm trying a new marketing tactic. What do you think?
Well, that's one way to tell people about Boost Mobile's new 5G network.
Why are your teeth so white?
What am I looking at?
I like it. And lastly,
People are gonna think we're a steroid company.
so do you like it?
I do not.
You made me hate muscles.
It's a marquee matchup in every sense of the word. A brilliant glove stop. Sam Reinhart, a rocket of a shot by Artemi Panarin. These two teams go at it.
Second period summary. Shots are 19-18 Canada, 10-9 in that period, but it remains a 1-0 lead. The power play goal by Oliver Bonk in the first period, the only goal scored in the game so far. Gord Miller back with Mike Johnson. Canada's been shorthanded 15 times so far in 3 games.
That's a problem. Discipline has been a problem for Team Canada. And in this game tonight, you've already seen a few different times. You've been shorthanded a couple of times in this game. And you just have to be so careful with the score being the way it is. The officials establishing a standard that it's going to be tightly called. You just got to make sure to be wise with your decisions. Even this one, which I don't think is a penalty, you might have to turn away from because you can't risk it. Now, the flip side of that is tonight, the penalty kill has been very strong. Haven't given up many opportunities, not many high danger chances. They've battled hard. They've blocked shots when they had to. They've made it difficult for Germany to get the puck to the players they want to get it to. Maybe one chance by Szymanski, but other than that, penalty killers and Carter George have been good in the game. Now, Dave Cameron would love it if neither of those things had to happen in the third period and they could play it in the offensive zone and get an insurance goal or two.
Canada 7 goals on 117 shots. Shooting 6% so far in the tournament.
That's unsustainably low for players this good.
Right. Average NHL team shoots just shy of 10%. The average NHL team scores once every 11.
And when you're the better team, as Canada has sort of been, and territorially, possession-wise, you'd think you'd have enough looks of quality. But again, that quality to quantity ratio, they're not generating great chances despite, once again, lots of offensive zone time and shot attempts.
Canada's had more than twice as much offensive zone time in this game than Germany. Face-off, though, controlled. Seidel shoots, and George the stop on that. Molendyk chips it back around. Molendyk freezes that along the boards. The referee is not going to blow the whistle. And finally brought up by Gibson. The puck might be in several pieces, but move back to center ice. Lead pass for Sump. He's crunched there by Gibson. Sump knocked down. Ritchie back with it. Feeds that back to center ice.
Sump felt that one. Maybe a little winded. Gibson stood him up clean.
Carlos Handel being watched by Howe. Feeds it across to Panoha. That pass at center ice was disrupted by Nadeau. Now brought in by Boos. Puts down to Schwartz. The puck rolled ahead by Bonk. Goes off the skate of Howe. Up ahead for Nadeau. Jagger trying to work that free. Howe comes in as well. Lewandowski. Out for Max Pinsa. Fired down on Carter George. And banked around by Dickinson. Bonk. For Nadeau. Takes the return pass from Jagger. Nadeau. Posts up, slides it back across, but the pass drew Price out. The play's offside at the German line.
So when you have a speedy attacker, the best thing you can do is get him before he gets going. And Gibson certainly does that to Sump. Straight through the chest. Absolutely nothing wrong with that hit. Unless, of course, you're Julius Sump and doesn't feel so good. Gibson has been very impressive in this tournament.
Meyer, rink wide to Nick Mowell. Plays for Munich in the DEL. Also spent some time at the Red Bull Academy in Austria, owned by the Munich club, so their junior players play there. Away comes Catton. Berkeley Catton was in and shoots off the outside of the post. Pinelli back with it. Picked up by Nihus. Looks ahead to Mao. He chops that down the ice as Price goes back. He's got to hurry. And icing call.
And Berkeley Catton showing a little zip on his wrister. I think you catch Pertuk sleeping a little bit. And that's him so far out. And it beats him clean. Waves it through the tip of the glove. And that's the second clean post that has not gone in for Canada. Although maybe that goes down as a save, as Pertuk did get a little piece of it.
Catton, McKenna, Pinelli the line for Canada. They've had some good looks in the game so far.
Probably Canada's best line of the game tonight.
A long shot by Gibson, punched away by Pertuk. Catton picks up the rolling puck for McKenna. Gavin McKenna works down low. Wraparound trying, that's turned away. Now Pinelli back on it. Pinelli chips that back for Catton. Catton feeds it across to Gibson, moving and feeds it back in front. Just missed McKenna. Pinelli plays it back with a pass out of the reach of Catton. And Canada begins a change as Catton slides it across to Gibson and heads off. Long pass for Cataford, chips that down to the German zone. Panoja goes back, and Cataford steps into him. Cataford, the reigning Quebec League MVP, knocked that free for Luchenko, and Sauger plays it back down. Icing called again against the Germans.
Financial goals. At Fidelity, we know that everyone's got them and they're all different. But the one thing we share, we all want to get to them sooner.
The one thing Canada hasn't been able to do is capitalize on a very clear home ice advantage. The crowd felt ready to go tonight. And young kids can be maybe more prone to the emotion of a crowd, and it hasn't really popped.
Off the face-off, Bonk for the long drive. Rebound in front, Luchenko put that wide. Gauthier back to Dickinson, the shot tipped just wide. Off the stick of Gauthier in front. And now Gauthier races to it, holds the line for Canada, plays it back in deep for Cataford. Luchenko back to Bonk for Jet Luchenko. Feeds that down to Cataford. Throws it back through the slot. That's picked off by Brindle and sent back to center. Bonk up for Gauthier, looks for Cataford. That's knocked down. Munzenberger back with it. Carlos Handel. Dane center ice, fires that down, deflected down to George, and he knocks that away from Seidel. Ball ahead by Ritchie. In comes Cal Ritchie. Rook-Dashel. Tied up there by Cowan. Rook-Dashel. Wants to handle, now played ahead. Cowan. Lifts it back down. Ritchie goes after it. And that puck was played with a high stick and plays goal.
Point shots in traffic were on order of the day, and Dickinson does float that one in. It got tipped by something on the way through. Waves wide. Get a sense of what the goalie's looking at. Look at all the bodies. You got Panoja trying to get out of the way. Guys trying to tip it. You're trying to save it. Don't know how they do it as consistently as they do.
Pertuk has gone unpicked through 2 NHL drafts. Howe. Back to Gibson. Across the Molenbeek, shot hit the goalpost. Howe. Try to keep that alive. Now it's center ice. Lewandowski had it knocked away by Gibson, who steps up. And it's in behind Howe. Lewandowski looks ahead for Buss. Now Lewandowski has a look. Crunch there by Nadeau. Feeds it back. Hits a shot that deflects wide. Howe races to it. He's got Nadeau ahead. Long lead pass for Nadeau. And diving back was Hensa to prevent a breakaway. Dickinson lays it back in. It bounces right to Jagger. Jagger feeds it back. Nadeau drops it back. Dickinson, a hard shot. Pertuk the save on that. Back at the point is Bonk. Bonk feeds it across. Jagger, long wrist shot. Bouncing puck in front. Bonk can't get to it. Now Bonk keeps it alive and fires it back down the German zone as Canada changes. Hensa, who made that great defensive play a moment ago, drops it back to Trotman. Loose at center ice and knocked down by Dickinson for Bonk. Lead pass finds Pinelli with McKenna. Quick shot. Pertuk the save. Now Catton to drive. That's blocked. Bounces back to McKenna. And McKenna had it knocked away. Szymanski feeds it back down to the Canadian zone. Bonk across to Dickinson. Snaps that pass ahead. In comes Pinelli. Pinelli. That sharp angle shot deflected away by Meyer. Now worked free by McKenna. And pulled neatly by Catton. Back for Pinelli. Winds it and shoots at the deflected wide. Minio had stepped up. The puck bounced in behind him. And Price carefully knocks that down for Catton. Up ahead to McKenna. Gavin McKenna Drops it back in the high slot. Pinelli back for Price. To Pinelli. Feeds it back to Price. Long shot. Pertic save. Rebound loose in front. Pertic still down. And the puck is under Berkeley Captain. And finally, play is called. 1-0 Canada leads. Molenbeek's long shot just off the crossbar.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by Sense Arena. Own the ice in virtual reality with NHL Sense Arena 25.
Experience a new reality of off-ice hockey with NHL Sense Arena 25. Available on MetaQuest. Transform any space into your own virtual rink where you can practice anytime, anywhere. With modes for goalies and players, get unlimited access to hundreds of drills, training plans, and more. Get more ice time at home with a hockey training aid that fits into any space and any schedule. Train smarter, play faster. NHL Sense Arena.
Join players, scouts, and coaches on hockey's largest platform, where players showcase their game and recruiters uncover new talents. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
Connor Bedard!
You're watching NHL Network.
Sawyer Minio's dad, Dan, was brought to tears when Sawyer shared the news that he made the World Junior roster. He was driving down the I-5 when he got the call, a highway he spent a lot of time on. Dan drives down to all of Sawyer's games, whether they're in Seattle or across the league. Earlier this season, he made the 20-hour drive to Winnipeg to watch Seattle take on the ice. But of all the miles traveled, this trip to Ottawa holds the most meaning. The lengths families go to watch their kids play in person really is extraordinary. Gord, MJ, I remember my dad driving from Ottawa to Toronto after a night shift just to see me play one hockey game.
That's
a
sacrifice they've made. Now, due respect, Kenzie, a lot further for the Minios than for the Lallones. Travel takes on a whole different meaning in the Western League. Ruckdaschel winds back out, sends that rink wide for Sump that was chopped away by Molenbeek. And George up to play it, leaves it up for Gibbs. He's skated by the puck. Seidel sends it back in front. Sump hammered it wide. Here's Seidel back on it. Close call there. Now Seidel fires it wide. Here's Panocha. Feeds it down to Sump. Sump from a sharp angle trying to find Ruckdaschel. Handel comes up, and Baudouin stepped into him. Molenbeek battles for the puck. It's picked free by Handel for Ruckdaschel. And Cowan drops it off for Ritchie. In with Baudouin. Ritchie for Cole Baudouin. That drop pass got by everyone back out to center ice. Cowan up for Baudouin. That shot floats wide. And that long pass misses everyone back down to the Canadian zone. And they're waving icing off.
Just because he came off the bench for a change doesn't make it not an icing.
Now Caden Price, the Saskatoon native, winds it and just swats that down to the German zone. Luchenko on it. In the corner, picked up by Kaiser. And Rakoff all over Hensa. Now Rio Kaiser banks that. Had the puck sat there for a moment. Brandel got bumped for Cataford. And Price back with it up to center ice for Cataford. Price pokes at it for Luchenko. Looks ahead for Cataford. Gets in behind the German defense. Icing waved off. Pertuk plays it away. And then Sauger plays up the center ice. Knocked down by Luchenko. Bats it back in. German player Hensa lost a glove. Shots 24-21 Canada. A 1-0 lead. Schwartz through the middle. Brought in by Nadeau now. And Bradley Nadeau plays it in. Here's Jagger after it. Down to Howe. Tanner Howe tries to pull that free. Here's Howe back on it. Back at the line for Dickinson with a rolling puck. He finds Bonk, a long shot. Gets through. Chance for Nadeau. Pertuk's got it. As Nadeau got buried in front.
No battling in front. D-to-D. Bonk throws it in there. Where's that stick? Did Diaz get that stick on his head? Very close chance here. Bad handoff between George and Gibson. And desperate times. Cal Ritchie comes flying across, gets a piece of it, as well as George. Wow, brushing both to stay out. It's pretty courageous by Ritchie to put himself in harm's way to help out George.
So Catton, Spinelli, and McKenna get an offensive zone shift here. Szymanski wins the draw for Germany. Panoha. No set back to center ice. Bouncing puck. Gibson finds Spinelli. Sweeps it back down to the German zone. Panoha. And that knocked away. Catton back with it. Gibson. That pass went off a stick of Mowell. Goes back to Gibson. He finds Spinelli. Slips it down to the German zone. McKenna. After Handel. And Handel moves that back to center. Knocked down there by Molendyke across to Gibson. Up ahead to Catton with a head of steam. Berkeley Catton winds in. Gets a shot away. Perry took the save. And McKenna couldn't reach the rebound. Back down again. And this will be icing against Germany.
Berkeley Catton gets ahead of steam. He is tough to handle. It's a 1-on-3, but he swings back, takes it with speed, and then attacks, starts working the triangle. 1, 2, 3 off his skate. That's a lot going on in a short period of time. To pick this one off his skate as well. And a quick release. Pertuk, another good save. And Canada feeling in control, except it's a 1-goal game. This is the stress when you can't get the second goal.
Jagger for the face-off, wins it back from Sump to Price. Now Price a shot, deflects down in front, then rolls just wide. Nadeau back on it for Howe. Tanner Howe works that free for Jagger. And the captain pivots back. Slides that back to Minio to Price. Caden Price has a look, shoots through traffic, punched away by Pertu. Mowell gets it over Price's head and back down. A race for it now as Price goes back. Icing waved off. And the puck didn't get to the end line. Minio racing to it. As Seidel worked that free, now Nadeau with it. Nadeau. Feeds it across for Howe. Move back Howe. Finds Price. Price, a shot that was blocked, goes right back to him. Was Brandel got in the way, and now Howe with it. Lots of traffic in front. Jagger is battling for space there. Howe. Back for Bonk. Crowd hollering for a shot. Nadeau. Back to Bonk with a drive. That goes just wide. At the line, Nadeau holds it. And banks it back in. Canada needs a change. Trotman leaves it back for Hensa. 8:45 to go here in the third period. Sauger winds it across the line. Sauger is shot that deflects wide. Cowan chopped it ahead but not out. And now Dickinson tied up by Sauger. And Bonk almost turned it over. Now the bouncing puck in the slot. And finally Ritchie trying to reach for it. Sauger a shot that was blocked and Dickinson settles things down. Looks ahead for Cowan. Rink wide he goes for Rakoff. Munzenberger. This is Rakoff up with Ritchie and Cowan. Meyer looks ahead to Brandel. He brings it out and Brandel slides it back down to the Canadian zone. Luchenko feeds it across to Dickinson. Dickinson's London teammates are coming back from Flint watching on the bus tonight. In comes Cowan, shoots, and Pertuk makes the stop and hangs on. Still 1-0 here in the third period at the 2025 World Juniors in Ottawa.
Hi, I sell deodorant for a living, but not just any deodorant, the whole body deodorant designed just for guys. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is clinically proven to block odor all day and control it for 72 hours. Plus, it was invented by a doctor right here in the USA. What's Mando's secret? It paralyzes odor-causing bacteria. You stop bacteria, you stop odor before it starts. Now get this, because our deodorants are free from any harsh chemicals, they work safely anywhere on your body. New customers get 30% off.
Hey you! Yeah, you, the hockey fan that's hanging out with us for Canada and Germany tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. It is always so hard to find these games. It's been years I've been searching for the World Junior Hockey Championships, and this year I was able to find the stream. So here we are live on TSI. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. If you're new here, please take a minute, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Toronto sports event, as well as the Buffalo Bills, college football playoffs, and a lot of other awesome sports action. Thank you for finding our awesome community. Now let's get back to the hockey. Come on, Canada. We got to beat Germany tonight.
And HC Davos, the host team. That sounds like a good time, the Spengler Cup. Fondue.
It's on the bucket list somewhere.
The mountains.
Go for a little ski in the morning. Then
open-ended rink.
Call a game in the afternoon.
Yeah. Not quite as relaxing here tonight.
Not quite as stressful.
Luchenko wins that face-off back to Gibson. Gibson feeds it back across. Gauthier a shot. And Pertuk the save.
Face-off play in the offensive zone. Every game we've seen different variations. This one's the board winger slides around the top of the circle, tries to open up for a seam pass. So Gauthier comes across, gets lost in traffic. Puck just a bit behind him, so he's got to catch it, settle it, and then by the time he releases, Pertuk is in position. One-timer would be very dangerous there.
Luchenko racing to it. Banks that back, but Gibson can't hold the line. Gibson back across to Molendijk. Lead pass for Gauthier. Chips it ahead for Luchenko. Then the linesman skate. Gauthier shoots. Pertuk save. Bouncing puck in front. And it's skipped away from Gauthier. Now Molendijk got it. Cataford. Pokes that back to Luchenko. Jet Luchenko. Leaves it back for Gauthier jumping in. Gauthier backhand shot goes wide. Gauthier back on it. Throws it back in front. Backhand pass by Cataford. Goes to Gibson. Slides it back to Luchenko. For Gibson, tees it up and shoots. On the long shot for Luchenko goes wide. Gauthier centers it. Gets by everyone back down the ice. Now swept down by Molendijk on that feed from George. Knocked down by McKenna. Gavin McKenna pokes that back for Pinelli to Cat. In for McKenna. Shoots from a sharp angle. And now Bonk feeds it back down to McKenna. McKenna pivots back. Gavin McKenna slides it back in front for Catton. And now Catton and McKenna crisscross. Catton winds in, shoots. Pertuk glove save and hangs on.
Shots really piling up now in the third period. It's been one-way traffic for Canada in Germany's end. Catton's been skating well, strong on the puck, wheeling off the boards. Everything you want, but Pertuk looks always out of gas. He's exhausted. 15-4 right now shots for Canada in the third period. That's how you want to play when you have a one-goal lead in the third. But you still don't love zero margin and a hot goaltender when you're going up against them.
Jagger for the face-off against Noah Szymanski. Jagger wins that face-off back to Bonk. For Dickinson. Down to Howe. And Howe works it free. Tanner Howe swings that rink wide to Bonk. Fans on the first try. Lobs it back down. And Dickinson has to retreat to center ice. Germany changing. Bonk pokes it ahead. And Nadeau. Looks rink wide for Howe. Got to poke that ahead for Jagger. Now bumped out by Munzenberger. Back goes Dickinson for it with Munzenberger closing. Reverse for Bonk. And ahead it goes to Ritchie. Cal Ritchie has an NHL goal to his credit this year. Across to Cowan, who banks it down. Pertuk out for it. That was knocked down by Ritchie. Now Ritchie back with it. Off the back of the goal. It's picked free by Brandel. Looks ahead to Sauger. And that puck chipped by Munzenberger goes between the benches. 5:21 to go here in the third period. And a 1-0 lead on Germany at the 49th World Junior Hockey Championship.
Cheers, hockey fans. Thanks for hanging out with us for the Canada-Germany game in the World Junior Hockey Championships tonight. I have a special message. We're doing a special campaign here for SickKids Hospital. You know, if you've been here for a while, we do campaigns all the time. The Blue Jays, Summer Rally, the Fall Drive, now this Football Frenzy. And we've got a special guest who has the hockey tie. Mr. Joe Bowen, take it away.
Cheers, insiders and football fans all over the world. This is Joe Bowen, Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and, more importantly under these circumstances, a huge football fan of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Well, we want to thank you for hanging out with us and cheering on your favorite team during the SickKids Football Frenzy campaign here on TSI.
Set up a great New Year's Eve showdown with the U.S. Cowan drops that back for Minio. Richie on it. Played back across for Price. Caden Price, long shot, got through. Rebound score! Off the end boards, it banks in, and Canada leads 2-0. There's a bumper play. Off the backboards, it goes in off Pertuk, and Caden Price has given Canada some breathing room.
You work so hard trying to get to the front of the net. Look at Baudouin and Richie just battling, pushing, shoving, and Richie knocks Panoha down in a battle. Nothing wrong with this. 21 and 6 gets tangled up. Baudouin, like that's how you battle in front. You push, you shove, you bother the opposition, and Pertuk just loses track of it, and a friendly carom off the dasher kicks off the heel of the goaltender, and finally Canada gets their second goal.
From Caden Price, the Seattle third-round pick, another Saskatoon native. There's 4 Saskatchewan natives on this Canadian team, 3 from Saskatoon. The Saskatoon Contacts under-16 program with a long-time pipeline to the Canadian junior team and more. Maybe not the guy you expected, and maybe not the way you expected.
You know what? We probably should have expected that way, given what's happened in tonight's game.
Gauthier
grab an assist as well.
Drop back to Gibson. Across he goes to Molendyke. We talked about the top of the draw, and for Germany, if they lose this game in regulation, it sets up a winner-take-all showdown. Actually, kind of a loser-lose-all showdown tomorrow against Latvia to see who gets dropped down into the relegation side.
Well, game's not over yet.
Yeah.
Still 4.5 minutes left. They fought so hard, but Price, we saw him make a great play at the blue line, walking laterally.
And he's singing on his way to the bench. He was singing the goal song.
Boys have been through a lot in the last 48 hours. They deserve
They haven't heard
smile.
They haven't heard it a lot.
No.
Howe chips that back down to the German zone. I did say if, for the record. Now ranging back is Bonk. Knocks that back to center ice. And Dickinson back with it. You got to think that Dave Cameron is saying on the bench, no penalties here.
Sticks down, don't reach, don't pull.
Don't respond.
Smart of the blue lines.
Bonk, long shooting. Glove by Pertuk. Have to hang on to that. The Germans won't be allowed to change after that long shoot in his glove.
Hey, Howe in this instance, just skate away. Don't bother pushing and shoving. You got the whistle in the offensive zone. You finally got a 2-goal lead. Price tap dancing on the blue line, trying to find a lane, and just relief. Finally, please. His family celebrating. Caden Price loving it.
That was the Cowan family in the center of that shot. Exhaling, along with 18,500 of their fellow countrymen.
That's it. How do you spell relief?
The London Knights bus. Bars across the country, living rooms, you name it. Here's Cowan with it. That puck bouncing the German bench. James Duthie talked about it off the top of the broadcast. You think back to 2020 in Ostrava. Canada lost 6-0 in the preliminary round to Russia. Went on to win the gold medal, trailing Russia in the gold medal game. In 2023 in Halifax, the Czechs won the opener against Canada on Boxing Day. Canada was life and death to get by Slovakia in the quarters. It took an overtime goal to win it, but that goal came seconds after the Slovaks hit the post.
I was in Halifax. I don't remember Canada losing the first game. I only remember the way it ends.
Connor Bedard, the overtime winner.
And that's the message, right?
Luchenko knocks that down, loose at center ice. Picked up now by Sump. Julius Sump works in. And the German netminder Pertic going to the bench. Loose at the side of the goal, and that'll be frozen by George. So we got 6 on 5 now for Germany with 3:18 to go in the third.
Toby Abstreiter going to go to the timeout right now. I would probably save it. We need 2 if I'm Germany. So I have an offensive zone face-off.
Right, and you had Sump on the ice, so maybe wait to give him a
just
breather.
Coming off a whistle, though. He just, he's only played 20 seconds. Nothing's ideal, because if you use one now, if you happen to get a goal, then you don't have the luxury of re-racking the same guys again, the guys you want to stay on the ice. I guess they're going to spend it, drop their offensive zone face-off plays. And this is where you look to actually Ben Yager, 67% on the tournament. Good for third best coming into the games today. And has had some really good performances in the face-off circle. Let's see if they can do that. And Carter George is talking about trying to score a goal. So
he has.
He's got a goal. I don't know if now's the time, but kids will be kids.
Face off at the Canadian zone. It'll be Yager to take it.
Well, they put Howe in there on his stronger side. Yager to play center after the face-off is taken.
It will be Howe, sorry. Against Sump. Off the draw. Back to the sideboards. Trutman trying to chop that around. Gibson out there. Sump plays it down to Seidel. Pivots back. Try to center it. Now played back to Trutman. Trutman had the puck skip away from him and back to center ice. Here's Handel with it. Under 3 to go in the third period. Edmund Trutman. Lead pass to Julius Sump. Long shooting glove by George. He's going for it. Sends it down the ice, and he missed. And a race for it now. Nadeau gets there. Oh, they called icing. Nadeau thought he negated it. George was going for it.
That's a good time to do it, though. When they fire it right into your glove, and you can drop it clean, you have time. Molendyk read this. Molendyk jumped out of the way to give George an angle. Dad, get in there. So close.
See, Mom the curler said you gotta hit the broom.
You gotta angle it right.
Call the sweepers on it.
But clearly Molendyk read the same thing George did, getting out of his way to clear room for the shot.
Sometimes it's fun to be a goalie pair. Not often, but sometimes.
When it's over.
Yeah. 2:42 to go here. Now Al Beckham with the face-off against Boos. Chop back to Molendyk. Plays it back around. That was bounced at the boards. A quick shot there by Rukdashel, and the save made by George.
He does not look, Carter George does not look stressed at all. He's just very relaxed, calm, smiling.
Canada gets a fresh line on the ice. This will be Baudouin for the face-off against Boos. Draw goes back to the point. Long shot deflected just wide off the stick of Brandel. Now move back to center, race for it. Luchenko can fly, gets it up Panoha. And Panoha pivoted back and knocked that away. Panoha up for Schwartz. It was knocked down by Bonk. Played back to center ice. Panoha banked that back for Boos as Baudouin was bearing in on him. And now Panoha being harassed by Baudouin. In comes Gauthier to work it free. Lewandowski tied up under 2 to go now in the third period. Panoha for Schwartz. George plays it around for Dickinson. That was sealed along the wall by Rookdash, and now banked down the ice by Jagger. And Trotman goes back to pick it up. Knocked down the center ice by Jagger. 6 skaters on 5 for Germany. Handel. Lead for Sunk. Chipped down to the Canadian zone. Back goes Molendijk for it. Handel. Gets around Howe. Now Sunk jumps up. Centers it. Knocked down by Nadeau for Jagger. He brings it up. Drops it back for Howe. He shovels it down to the German zone. Sunk back for it. Just out of the reach of Howe. Handel being harassed there by Howe. And now Handel plays it back across. It's bumped back. Trotman fires it in. George goes back to pick it up, but the shot was too hot to handle. Moved back around by Nadeau to the line. Trotman able to hold it. Howe picks it up. Trotman sealed to the line, but picked up by Jagger. Jagger pivots back. Drops that back. Gibson feeds it down to the German zone. Time winding down here in the third period. Seidel with it. Simon Seidel winds back in. Throws that towards the Canadian goal. Gibson goes back for it. Here's Molendijk. Tanner Molendijk. Up ahead for Cataford. That goes past the Canadian bench and back down the ice as time winds down here in the third. Cataford steps up. George plays it back around. Cataford with it. Towards the empty net. Scored! Matthew Cataford sends it down the ice. 3-0 Canada.
George won't get his goal, but he'll get an assist.
Yes.
It was his ring around that got the puck to Cataford. Good play to get down to it, strong hands, and why not center cut, end this game for Canada.
Cataford, the former Halifax Moosehead, now playing for Rimouski, which will host the Memorial Cup in the spring of 2025. Well, Canada isn't scoring a ton, but not giving up much at all. No even strength goals against. Carter George, 2 shutouts in 2 starts at the World Junior Championship, and now Canada heads for a first-place showdown with the United States on New Year's Eve. No even strength goals allowed in 3 games.
For all the hand-wringing about the lack of offense, which has been hard to come by, celebrate the incredible defense that Canada is playing in this tournament. George has been perfect in the 2 games that he has played. And Canada didn't waver. In the third period, they didn't sit back. They didn't get passive. They played in the offensive zone. They kept pushing. Eventually they get a break after they ran 3 posts. They had all kinds of chances. Probably feel they were deserving of the Price bank goal.
Final shots, 36-25 in favor of Canada.
Please direct your attention to the T-Silk carpet for the Player of the Game presentation. The Player of the Game from each team will be awarded a one-of-a-kind paddle hand-painted by a local Indigenous artist. A special thank you to Imperial and Esso for their contribution that allows us to compensate the artists. Today's awards were painted by Connor Sarrazin, an artist from the Algonquin peoples of the Low River. His design symbolizes humility, connection, and the wolf's role within the pack in our relationship with the land. Please welcome John Irwin, Vice President, Member Services, Timber Mart, and the Honorable Anita Anand, Minister of Transport and Internal Trade, to present the Player of the Game Awards. Representing Esso are Ace Bailey and John Langlois, 2 players from the Little Native Hockey League, the largest annual hockey tournament for Indigenous youth in Ontario, to present the Player of the Game Awards. The Player of the Game for Germany is number 1, Midmill R. Nico Pertu.
He was terrific, wasn't he? And now, in a tight turnaround, Germany plays Latvia in the afternoon tomorrow to try to stay out of relegation.
That's the danger in going to your number 1 on a busy night. I'm going to get into the whole game, but he'll have to go again tomorrow.
The best player for Team Canada is number 30, le numéro 30, Carter George.
Oliver Block bowing to him.
They're not going to let a goal in. They're paddling all the way home. Kind of game it was. Both goalies, the players of the game. It's a nice exchange between the 2 goaltenders. Mutual respect for the performances tonight.
Fans, please rise for the national anthem of Canada. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'hymne national du Canada.
Well, after a major upset on Friday and a shootout to Latvia, Canada bounces back with a win over Germany 3-0. Next up for Canada, they face the U.S. on New Year's Eve. On the Fly starts right now.
Crosby twisting and turning, lost the puck. Then it scoots right to Bunting. He scores! Michael Bunting buries it, and that's it. Assist 1,034. Sidney Crosby passes Mario Lemieux and is the new Pittsburgh Penguins assist king. The assist for Sidney Crosby has been taken off the board here to begin this second period.
I mean, if I'm Bunts, I'm still telling my kids and grandkids that he passed Mario on my goal.
Well, that was awkward. I mean, I thought we called no backsies on assist records. Sidney Crosby seemingly broke Mario Lemieux's Penguins assist record, but a scoring change took the helper away. Good thing the Pens are playing the exact same team on a home-and-home. And this time around, Crosby could make it happen in front of the hometown crowd, which, that's better anyway, right? On to Pittsburgh for what was a little deja vu between the Islanders and Pens.
A fun weekend of hockey between the Islanders and the Penguins. And fun if you were at UBS Arena just last night. Islanders offense exploding with 6 goals and the win.
Pens and New York Islanders second in this back-to-back.
They come back near now to Bunting through the right circle. In front, and they score. Tipped home by former Islander Anthony Beauvillier as he beats Marcus Hogberg and gives the Penguins a 1-0 lead.
And an early goal from Anthony Beauvillier, his 9th of the season, has the Penguins in front with just under 5 minutes gone here in this first period. Penguins get the first goal in this game. That's been a bugaboo for the Islanders this year. It's the 23rd time they have allowed the opponent to score first in this, their 37th game. Tied for the most in the NHL. Duclair the other way. Plays catch with Barzal. Save! Nedeljkovic, his best stop of the period on Matt Barzal with 6 seconds left. And look at this, Palmieri and Rust get right into it.
You got to protect those areas. You're going to see the opportunity here. A little give and go with Duclair and Barzal.
Penguins, Rupper, get that first goal. They have the lead after one. Anthony Beauvillier's got it. And now they look to build on it moving forward. So this Penguin power play, which has just been buzzing. Another PPG last night. They have 4 power play goals over their last 2 games. Crosby in front, a shot by Bunting, scores! And Sidney stands alone. Crosby collects assist number 1,034, and he passes Mario Lemieux for the most assists ever by a Pittsburgh Penguin. That is a significant moment in Pittsburgh Penguins history right there that you have all just witnessed. Sidney Crosby, now the assist king for the Pens. Chips it up top, Shea, drifting, shooting, deflected atop the crease, and it eludes Malkin. Great play and tight by Pelech.
Maybe a goal-saving play by Adam Pelech as he got a stick on it before Malkin could.
Second power play for New York. They had 3 shots on the first, did not score on it. Deeper it comes, Shea had it skip away from him. Duclair right to him, shooting, glove save, Alex Nedeljkovic, and they all rise at PPG Paints Arena. Barzal one-timer, Nedeljkovic moving left to right, snares it. He's dialed. Penguins survive that blitz late from the Islanders. They'll take the 2-0 lead into the third. So this Penguin power play, which again has struck here tonight. Tomasino settles it, snaps it, score! It deflects in. Tomasino put it to the goal. It's a power play goal for Pittsburgh times 2.
6 attackers on, Islanders down by 3. Dobson to the net, kicked out by Nedeljkovic. Romanov a blast, and they score!
Anders Lee, I think, got that.
And the Islanders have broken through with 7:01 on the clock.
Well, now they give themselves a chance. Patrick Law has always been known for pulling his goaltender early.
Pelech for Pollock. Here's Horvat turning, they score! Bo Horvat chucked it to the net. The Islanders get a bounce, and they're now within 1.
The Islanders have scored twice with the goaltender pulled. Comes across Barzal, shot blocked by Rust. Into the corner, 2 seconds and 1. The horn sounds, it's over. 2-point party on 5th Avenue as the Penguins hang on to take the back end of the home and home. 3-2 the final score.
Once again, Sidney Crosby fed Michael Bunting for a power play goal against the Islanders. This time, it counted. Career assist number 1,034 for Crosby moves him past Mario Lemieux for the most assists in Penguins franchise history. Only Ray Burke, Wayne Gretzky, and Steve Yzerman have reported more assists with a single franchise. Pretty decent company.
December this month for Montreal has really been good. Looks like things are turning around, obviously. Looks like they're starting to kind of really turn the season around a little bit.
Tampa Bay's had a terrific December, too. The victory 6-2 over the New York Rangers, which followed the 4-0 shutout in South Florida over the Panthers, giving Tampa Bay a great deal of momentum heading into the new year.
Worked it down to the corner to Patrick Laine. 8 goals as a Canadian. Matheson, slap pass, they score! Newhook rips it, and the Canadians lead it 1-0.
Laine and Matheson do a little scissor play, and Alex Newhook gets himself right to that soft area of the ice. No one covers him, and it's on his stick, it's off his stick, it's right past Johansson, who's on his knees. He doesn't have a chance to react to it, and Alex Newhook, who had 2 assists last game, now has a goal, and it's 1-0 Montreal.
So it stays 1-0. Teams back to 5-on-5.
Hagel turns the puck over, takes a shot, scores! Brandon Hagel ties the game.
They lose 3 guys all on Braden Point. Hagel comes in late, makes a great shot. Now it's 1-1.
Taken on the perimeter. Anderson flips it over. Carrier scoops it back. Gooley fires and scores! Caden Gooley with his first goal since November the 18th, and the Canadians lead it again. It's 2-1.
Just a seeing eye shot through all that traffic as Caden Gooley gets his 3rd goal of the season.
Again, Gooley, I don't think they've officially changed it to Dvorak's goal, but it is Dvorak, and this is Jake Evans driving the net. Armia, Evans scores!
Evans can't make the pass, but he takes the exact same shot right over the blocker. Jake Evans, what a season he is having.
Nearing the late stages, or into the late stages here of this second period. To the line, Radislow shoots and Montembeault makes the save. No, the puck is loose. It's in! Tucked in by Kucherov. That play was not over. Kucherov knew it, and it's 3-2.
Montreal is stunned, but Kucherov played till the whistle. Montreal did not. It's the collision by Paul. Paul is carried in there by Carrier, and that must tweak the rubber loose from Montembeault.
Armia trying to get there first. He knocked it past his man. All Canadians wanted an interference